Oh my god, why'd I do that? Alright, here we are. Where's the video? Wrong one. There we go. No, wrong song. Bruh. Let's get it! Bro, I haven't been live in a long ass time. How do I stream? Take all my, I'd rather be. Let's get it! Bro, we gotta update this intro. I see there's something burning inside you. Oh, inside you. Hey, why didn't they give this song a WrestleMania theme? Try to hide the pain, you always know just what to say. They're gonna copyright me again. I'm done. I'm done. Bro, I pressed the wrong button. Hold on. Alright. Party's done. What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Yes, we got a video today. Just want to tell you guys that a video is coming. It is a long video at that. Very excited to drop it, but we're here again. I haven't streamed in almost 2 months, you know? A lot's happened since then. You know, people getting arrested for DUIs, releases, pay-per-views, all kinds of things in midst that time. How you guys doing? Dropping by, I love your videos. Shout out to you, AbdTBA60. Shout out to you. Much love. Appreciate it a lot. Once again, long video coming today. Bro's alive. Yeah, bro. You know, like I wasn't underground or anything. I just kept a low profile because I just wanted to. Simple as that. What up, Jordan? Welcome back to the stream. Young Chugs, I'm sure you're happy about the Gooners winning the Premier League. The return WP. Shout out to you, Nitro99. Micah. Feel free to correct me. Shout out to you. Roll Tide X Gaming, Kadari Finley, James B, of course, Zamon98, Jordan. It's not a collection video, it's a real video. It's a real video. You know, we gotta burn it down. M Kid, shout out to you. Yes, I did watch Double or Nothing. Just want to say that I, of course, watched it. Though the reason why I didn't make a video on it is because I'm time limited. I knew I wasn't gonna finish it in time. I'm like, bro, I'm not uploading this, you know? But I did watch it. It was a good show. I do think people overrated it, calling it the best AEW show ever. I'm like, bro, settle down. But good show, you know? My favorite match, of course, the Takeshita and Okada match was pretty good. The Swerve match was enjoyable. But I feel like that show was missing just something tiny. I don't know what it was, but that crowd was great. Just want to say that right now. We're so back right before World Cup and final season. Don't worry, bro. We'll be streaming next week. Premiere looking like 04 Randy Orton. Hey, visually, don't tell me I'm mentally 04 Orton, you know? You know, he used to greet people with his dick. You know, it's like shaking my... Bro. I don't know why wrestlers are weird, but that's just how it is. Why did bro have his shirt off in the room in that one clip? Bro, it just is what it is, you know? And sometimes when we're on the stream, it's like you get adrenaline and stuff. It's like, okay, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. You know? What did I miss? Are you stealing from Drake now? Bro, Drake steals from everyone, bro. Maybe not see my boy in a minute. Yeah, bro. Main event was good, but not great. That's probably what it was. I enjoyed it, but if I had to give a single issue with that main event, maybe it is. Maybe you're right. You know why? Because a lot of the AEW main events were like, oh, but the main event was calm. You know, it's pretty good. Darby went crazy, of course, but you know, WP needs an Apple's Carlito. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we missed a lot. You know, we're here to yap. We're gonna be streaming for a while. I want to do like 3 hours today, to be honest. You know, be a real streamer today. Streamer. Who you got winning tonight? San Antonio or OKC? I think San Antonio. I think the Spurs might do it. But we'll see. You know, the Knicks are in the final. Very proud of them because they're an exciting team. Their fans are exciting as well. You know, their fans are always crazy. We'll see how New York operates. I do have them winning the final, though. You know, if they ain't bumping in New York, they ain't bumping it anywhere. Like, bro, they live in a whole different world, bro. There. Like, I saw some of the fits they were wearing for Eid. They're wearing the freaking... Bro, they're wearing the thobe with the New York Knicks, bro. I'm like, calm down. It's that... You're passionate to that level? Curtis Axel got arrested. Yeah, I saw that. Thoughts on Darby Allin as AEW World Champion? I love it because he went out there week after week, putting his body on the line, being a fighting champion until he couldn't do no more. Simple story. Yeah, that's the thing I like about it. He burned himself to the ground. It's a very simple story, and I see people, what's it called? I see people insulting it. It's like, bro, it's a simple story. You don't have to like Darby, but you got to understand what they're doing. Dynamite last night was a terrible show after Double or Nothing. I did watch it. I did watch Dynamite yesterday. At least the end of it. I saw the Rascals and the Death Riders, and of course the Shida and Statlander match, which I thought was good. But it wasn't like something where it's like, I need your attention after Double or Nothing. And that's the thing with AEW. Every single time, like, I'm moved by a pay-per-view. You watch the next episode, it's like, oh. It doesn't move me. Like, and this is another issue. With AEW, I'm always looking back to 2021. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. I'm not even looking to the Punk and Danielson days. I'm looking to the pre-Punk and Danielson days. We always got to compare it, but such is life. I also thought it's funny how Chris Jericho changed his name to Jericho now. It's hilarious. New York winning the finals, yeah. Knicks actually winning for once, probably, bro. They haven't touched the finals since 99. Bro, the last time they touched the finals, Stone Cold was still wrestling as the champion. TNA was better back in the day. Yeah, in some aspects, you know. What are the chances of Gunther beating Cody? I'd give it 30% chance. They're obsessed with Cody as champion, and I like Cody Rhodes, but eventually some people are going to be like, hey, he wins all the time. He's not evolving as a character, and I don't want that to happen, bro. I don't want that to happen. A lot of people are going to have valid ammunition against him. Do I think the Ring General should win? Low-key, yes. I do think he should win, just on the basis of it being a different kind of champion. Because if Gunther's champion, he's probably not going to be like a Drew McIntyre type champion. They're going to want to have him hold the title for more than 2 months. You know? AEW is going very good right now. No, not going to lie. Nah, they're doing their thing. And I feel like a lot of people constantly miss the point. They're not trying to be WWE. You can't change them to be WWE. Like me personally, do I want some aspects of AEW to be different? Of course. But you got to understand that it is what it is. Like a lot of people, oh, they're not going to challenge. They're not going to challenge WWE. Keep on dreaming. TNA couldn't do it. ROH definitely didn't. They didn't even try. AEW should just do their own thing, you know? What's the next wrestling video we'll be talking about? I really like the last video. We did talk about Extreme Rules 2012. It's about a run from 2018. You guys will enjoy it. 99 was a long time ago. Yeah, bro. It's just like in sports, bro. You're used to misery if you don't follow a top-tier team. And that goes for all the sports. Whether you like Real Madrid, you like Barcelona, like those teams, they're going to have a dry period, but it always evaporates. Whereas if you're a fan of, say, the Timberwolves, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, you would be happy about a playoff berth. A finals berth would sound incredible, but it doesn't happen often. Like, imagine you're a fan of the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, you got Ja Morant, but it's like, are you going to go far? And you got to count your blessings. With the other teams, oh, if we're not the finals, we're not in the final tournament, it is a disappointing year. It's like, bro, sit down. That's how it is. When I got into NBA, the Knicks were the meme of the NBA. Now they are in the finals. Well deserved. Yeah, bro, they had some randoms there. Seth Rollins, Monday Night Rollins run. Yep, that's the video. Yes. Remember the man's man? Remember, I'm here to burn it down. But yeah, I enjoyed making that video, the Seth Rollins one. It is done. It is sealed, delivered. I only got paranoid. Let me tell you guys, the video was done like 5 days ago. I always get paranoid about videos. I'm trying to be a perfectionist, but it works against me. It really does work against me. And it bothers me a lot because it's like, the video isn't so bad, but I have to always add to it, and I have this like paranoia that's not as good as it should be. And that's going to be my detriment, to be honest. You think OKC are better than 17 Warriors? Nah. They're pretty good, though. WWE in a dry period after the heights in 22-24. Yeah. The thing is with the 22-24 era, it's just Triple H was fresh, right? And all he did was simplify the stories. You know, they're streamlined. I do think that there is something in him to potentially do another 2023, but he needs a lot of pieces to be in place, you know, because the Bloodline at the time had some stories like Sami Zayn. You had Cody, who was a fresh face. You had Kevin Owens, who just turned face. You had LA Knight. You had Rhea Ripley. You had, who else? The Judgment Day. He had a lot of pieces in place from Vince McMahon, so obviously it was going to be easier for him to book well. After WrestleMania 40, though, you guys know what happened. What's a pro wrestling what if scenario that you think of? Well, funny you mentioned that, because I just thought about one about an hour ago. I thought about, what if Samoa Joe wins to WWE in 05? That one's fascinating to me because CM Punk, his biggest rival at the time, went. And I'm like, I know they would probably butcher him, but it's kind of fascinating because I didn't search something. I searched Samoa Joe versus Batista, right? And I'm like, that would have been a banging match in 07. Like, imagine Joe and Batista at, like, freaking SummerSlam 2007 or something. That sounds insane. But that's the what-if scenario I was thinking of. As good as AEW's pay-per-views are, I wish they would cut the time a bit because no wrestling pay-per-view should go beyond midnight. Agreed. The thing is, listen, I understand people have their gripes with AEW, but I feel like a lot of that stuff is, I'm not going to say a lot of it, but some of it is a bit unwarranted. I do think people are clinging on to, like, classic pro wrestling. It's like, bro, that stuff is never coming back. You're not getting Magnum TA. You're not getting Arn Anderson and these guys. Things are different now, you know, and it's not going to change. There's going to be some traditional wrestlers like MJF, Gunther, but right now, you got to be more athletic. You got to do these crazy spots and stuff like that. And things have changed, you know? Like, me personally, I do have some gripes with that style of wrestling, but I'm not gonna stop watching wrestling entirely because of it. You know what I mean? Thoughts on Team USA roster being announced? Cool. I mean, I didn't really read about it. I saw the Brazil national team, the Spain one, which has no Real Madrid player, which is crazy, but that's what it is. Next video premiere, SVR 08 was a classic. Still gotta finish writing it. Do you think Brock actually retired or was it a work? I think he's done, but you just want to do these 2 matches. You know? I hate the weekly world title matches in AEW. I mean, I appreciate them, but at the same time, I do think that some of the opponents should be of the higher tier, you know? Kevin Knight's heel turn was so random, though. It just came from out of nowhere. I saw him stand on the top rope. I'm like, what the hell? And Darby's on the stretcher. I'm like, what? Then he jumps. Boom. I'm like, damn. They turned him heel. What do you think is next for CM Punk? I think I move to SmackDown, to be honest. Logically. We'll see how it goes, though. Can you do the Giant in WCW? Good thought. There's a lot of videos I want to do. It's just sometimes I would say I'm uninspired because it's like you gotta chase the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, blah, blah, blah. And that's why. So for me to like find success doing these videos, I have to offset it by working a lot, you know? If I work a lot, though, I'm gonna be burnt out. So it's like a catch-22. You should definitely do a video talking about some what-if scenarios. Samoa Joe versus Batista on the Ruthless Aggression era would have been a classic. It would have, bro. For sure. Hot take, NFL Street 2 soundtrack is better than SVR 07. Hell no. Never. SVR 07 is the quintessential soundtrack for a video game. Thoughts on Phil Frozen and Kopama missing the World Cup? Phil Foden. And who's Kopama? San Antonio. They're playing now. Who's Kopama? Cole Palmer. Yeah, it's Cole Palmer. I just thought about it. Cole Palmer. I'm like, what? It's Cole Palmer. Yeah, I mean, I want to say it's unwarranted, but Thomas Tuchel is very, like, this. You know? Thomas Tuchel is very, like, rigid with it. If you're like, what do you mean by that? He's not accepting any form of mediocrity, you know? He doesn't want to bring Trent. He doesn't want to bring Foden. I saw that, and I'm, like, a bit shocked. I'm like, these people's past would obviously, like, have some sort of merit to their calling, but it's like, damn. Bro, Premier, you don't understand because you never played the game. I played it years ago. If you want to step up, you gotta get knocked out. I remember, but I didn't play it a lot. World Cup gonna suck this year. I don't think so. The World Cup, they just, like they pull it out, you know? But we'll see. I don't think France is gonna win. You know, I'm gonna say that right now. I think France is massively overrated. Yeah, I said it. Overrated. If you're like, why? Well, I just feel like the attention's gonna be too much for them, you know? We'll see how it goes. My personal opinion is that it's gonna be Spain or Portugal. You know? Thoughts on West Ham getting relegated? Very unfortunate. You know, they worked hard until the end. But the freaking Spurs, bro, they got bailed out at the end. They really did. Tottenham Hotspur. And plus, those guys are a bit of they're a bit of clowns for getting to that point. You know? Hold on, guys. Give me a moment. It might pause right now. So is this on? Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, I had to do something quick. Wemby, it's another 3, okay? That frog splash was crazy. Full twist to the opposite side and Knight landed on his feet. Yup. It was a beautiful one. But like I was saying about the finishers, the thing with finishers, they're always kicked out of in general, you know? If you're talking about on TV shows, I agree. But the pay-per-views, even in like 2003, I saw them kick out of finishers plenty of times. But like on the TV shows, like Raw and SmackDown, they didn't used to kick out of them. That's what I've noticed. My bet's on either Spain, Brazil, or Argentina. The thing with Argentina, I feel like they're just like a past success type thing, you know? I feel like they're going to go out. Ronaldo scripted win incoming. Bro, I'm going to tell you this right now. If Ronaldo wins the World Cup, it's not him. It's Bruno, and it's the rest of the crew. Ronaldo's not going to be the reason for them winning the World Cup. But people, obviously, they're going to be like, Ronaldo's the one that won the World Cup, this and that, this and that, yeah. That's how it goes. Like, bro, I see people are almost crying tears of joy because Neymar's in the World Cup. It's like, bro, the era you remember of Neymar was like when Despacito came out. That's like on 10 years ago. Things are different now. You watching the El Grande versus El Grande match on Saturday? Hell yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot of hype on that. I saw a lot of crazy stuff as it relates to that. I am watching that. It's after the Champions League final, right? I wish WWE would bring back old SmackDown and Raw stages for a month. Well, yeah, you remind me. That's another video I've been working on. It's almost done. Who do you want to win the NBA Finals? I actually want the Knicks to win. You think Gunther is overrated, overhyped, don't like career gimmick? I think the reason why he's overrated is because of the career thing. That's what it is. It's as simple as that. If they remove the career thing, back to how it was. I just feel like the career thing is like, look at him, we're trying to push him high. When it's like, he already has the talent, you know? He's like this big, bad European. We don't need to do this career ender thing. Like, settle down. I like MJF and he's great, but there are many times where he's a cliche dispenser. Yeah. I've seen that a lot. Sometimes he does try too hard for heat. Speed gonna crash the internet if Ronaldo wins. That's what he does. But yeah, Arsenal, I'm praying for that UCL. Hey, you guys think Arsenal winning? The El Grande stuff is the best thing on WWE right now. Bro, that guy's so funny. It's like, bro, he's a German, allegedly a German. Marcel, I forgot his last name. Marcel, it was his ring name, his real name. But Marcel Bartel, right? This guy's from Germany or whatever. I don't know where he's from in Germany. He's from Bavaria or something. I don't know. He comes to America. Wait, off sync. Hold on. All right, we're good now, right? We're not off sync, right? But he goes to Mexico, right? And Mexico's so far from Germany. They embrace him. They love him like he's one of them. And it's like a hilarious story. He's the imposter. But now he's the real one officially because the fans accepted him. It's so funny. But yeah, that's professional wrestling to you, you know? Like you won't find this anywhere else. You're not. And that's why wrestling is what it is. It's a special thing that a lot of people refuse to understand. It's like, oh, it's fake. It's like, bro, you're preventing yourself from enjoying something special. Like, I'm not going to show for wrestling for other people. Oh, you should watch this. They watch it or they do, you know? But I feel like a lot of people, deep down, they might find something they'll really enjoy with professional wrestling. And this is a story that I think appeals to people. Alex Gemini W title. What did I miss? I just did that because there was a lot of drama. No, I didn't listen to the Drake album. I don't really care. Do you like ice cream? Oh, yeah. I hope that doesn't mean anything else. Something crazy. But yes, ice cream is good, but I don't like eating a lot of sugary stuff because it makes me bloated. You know, and I'm not a big fan of being bloated. The El Grande stuff is amazing. I still debate that last week's AAA was amazing and the best show of the year. Undertaker's booking so fantastic. Bro, why is Undertaker booking that show? I read about that. I'm like, why is he in creative? El Grande Chad was mocking Lucha, whereas El Grande Kaiser respects Lucha. The El Grande thing is funny, but bring back Chad Gable. Yeah, they should. People hate on Grande are the same ones who beg for a good story. Yeah. People always want to say wrestling is fake, but don't realize that work you gotta put in to do that stuff. Yeah. Listen, bro. I think wrestling's silly and all that, but yeah, the risk as well. It's a very hard thing to do, bro. Like, legitimately. Now, I'm not saying it's like combat sports, obviously. I don't think it's like combat sports, but there's a lot of stuff you gotta do. And you gotta convince the booker you're worth something. And on top of that, if they think you're worth something, they might push you as a mid-carder, and you're stuck there for life. You know, like Dolph Ziggler or someone like that. Or Kofi Kingston. Blow it and or go to WP. Bro, we gotta get on a run, bro. I'm not lying. I gotta get on some, like, crackhead run of uploads again. You know? It's just like the wrestling YouTube feed's so boring. Legitimately, it is boring me to death. And it's like there's nothing here. I have no reason to watch wrestling videos on YouTube. And if you guys feel that way, well, I guess we're failing at our jobs then. But I'm bored as hell of the wrestling YouTube feed. We need changes. I might have to change myself, you know? What do you think about the WWF versus WWE name change? Necessary? The thing is with that name, the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, that sounds amazing. Federation. Just that name, the Fed, as they call it. It's like you're watching this, like, wrestling things like this. But World Wrestling Entertainment's like, it's marketable, you know? How do you feel about Mason Rook broken move? Not gonna lie. Yeah, I saw that guy. I'm like, bro, this guy looks impressive. The problem is, a lot of people say he looks like, how do I say this without being rude? They say he looks, you guys know the word butch. I'm just gonna say it straight up, you know? Italy ain't winning the cup. They're not even in the cup. Like I said, a lot of people are focusing on his look. They're like, oh, he doesn't look that intimidating. But like, bro, when I see him, I'm like, this guy could fly. You know, this guy could fly. He could do these crazy backflips, these moonsaults, athleticism. And plus, I'm like, I thought to myself, I never heard of this guy before he debuted. Turns out he wrestled in Noah, if I remember correctly. Revive the scene. I can't do it alone, bro. But that would require me to do immense effort, you know? The thing is with the scene, it's very, not only individualistic, it's very boring. But then again, that's YouTube nowadays. It's like, I need to upload this video, get viewer retention, blah, 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 blah. Thumbnails of AI. It's like, it's dull. Like the wrestling YouTube scene in 2018, I wish I was around for that, you know? I really do wish I was around for that because it was very good, very approachable, and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's just different. Media companies are making wrestling videos now with no distinctive opinion. Stuff like that. I don't really like it, you know? Someone said Piper Niven got a haircut. See? It's just, bro, what brought him to the dance is his athleticism, but if he's ever prevented from going much higher, someone's going to be like, it's his look. But I wish him the best. He's pretty talented. Have you been seeing Adrian Broner blackout drunk on Dean the Great streams? Also, Gervonta Davis is now wanted by the FBI from him pulling up to the stream last night. So I've been seeing Adrian Broner. He looks like he has a baby, and he's been bothering my timeline for the past week. You know, I'm good off seeing him and Dean the Great. Dean the Great's always asking for a fight, getting slapped around, and it's all silly. You know, every couple of months you see someone. You guys remember Zerka, Clavicular, although he's kind of big now, and every once in a while you see some of these characters. Now it's Adrian Broner and Dean the Great. That's what it is now. But yeah, the internet scene is very silly now, in general. I miss when things had imagination, yes. I wish you were around in 2011 YouTube days. I mean, I was on the internet as a kid, but, you know. But we gotta do our part, you know? It's not just talking about other people, blah, 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 but it's just dry. It's very boring. I do want more interactive stuff, but you can't really do it alone. I don't know how it's gonna be in a couple of years. You know, I'm just gonna say that. I don't know how it's gonna be in a couple of years. The rest of YouTube sees just dire. There's no individual characters now. Like, I don't know new people. I don't see a lot of them. Any person I see new is an AI channel. But, like, I'm talking about people. I watched this channel called Pro Wrestling Shoot who covered WWE 2K, and they always say that after release day, it's always downhill for engagement and views. It's true. The 2K scene is a dangerous scene to get into. By the way, just want to tell you guys that. If you guys talk, If you guys are fans of the 2K wrestling games or the WWE games and you want to make a YouTube channel, I don't recommend you do that. If you want to make a channel, make it a wrestling channel. The reason why is because the 2K scene, unless you do what ifs or you like make something entirely new, you're not gonna do well. You know, like who are the biggest 2K YouTubers now? You guys know them, but those guys have been big for a couple of years. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that if you're gonna do a 2K channel, you might as well make a wrestling channel. MJF is the best on mic right now. Imagine if Premier was old enough on YouTube in 2008. I was on YouTube, but I wasn't uploading. I used to watch a lot of wrestling on there, bro. And just fake it if you're out on the restaurant, fake. Like, that was the song they used to play all the time. Like I said, the 2K scene is very dire. For those of you, I know one of you in here probably wants to make a channel. Do not make a 2K channel. If you want to talk about games, you can talk about games on your channel. However, just want to say this. Make sure you talk about the actual shows. WWE PLE is back on Sundays now. I think it's because of the Champions League final. One thing I like about your channel is you have not talked about the two most over-talked about subjects in wrestling, Montreal and Benoit. Bro, the Chris Benoit videos are always uploaded. He murdered his wife and daughter and son. It's like, bro, I don't want to talk about that. If I do talk about it, I talk about it in passing. Oh, I need ad revenue. Let's make a Chris Benoit video. Really, bro? I'm good off that. There's this one called Chiz Plays who has 600k subs. Murph's YT30 still uploads. Who is that again? I forgot. Like I said, Montreal, we're not talking about it. What we are going to talk about in the near future is Bret Hart's run during that time. Montreal will probably be spoken about for like 10 seconds. But the video is about his actual run when he was like the Hart Foundation in Canada versus the world. No, the US versus the world. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you know the channel Assemble, but he does 2K content as a second channel that talks about the IRL wrestling. Yes, I know Assemble. Yes, Assemble Wrestling. But like I said, it's a very weird time now. You know, like you could listen. You could upload stuff, but I'm talking about if you want to be big, you could upload whatever you want. I'm just talking about if you want to be a big channel. You know, it's very hard. Chiz Plays used to be on Dashi Skits back in the day. Dashi, I haven't heard that name in a while. But like I was saying, I do want to see how YouTube looks in a couple of years. I'm obviously going to be around. I don't know if I'm going to be uploading a lot, but we will definitely be around. Just want to say that right now. Definitely. You know, I like professional wrestling. I obviously like the views I get on my channel. I wish I could get more, but I like it all around. You know, I really enjoy it. And I do hope that when WrestleMania 47 comes around, I'm making a video on it. Next month, it will be 20 years since RVD won the WWE and ECW championships at One Night Stand 2006. Crazy, bro. I remember the day I was 5 years old. We bought the DVD. Summer 06. Best Buy. I remember looking at that DVD like this. Swear to God. Wallahi. I'm not even lying to you. Remember that. I watched that DVD in the ECW One Night Stand 05-1 endlessly. Loop. Like that summer of 06, it was just those two DVDs. I have them memorized for the most part. That pay-per-view was so good. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Crazy vibes. AEW needs more main eventers for the world title like Kyle Fletcher. They're gonna start pushing Kevin Knight too, but we'll see. It's just like the issue with AEW, they have too many talent. They're like, what do you mean? Well, if Ospreay wants the belt, if MJF wants the belt, if Darby wants it again, if, what's his name? Swerve. It's crazy. You guys don't think one of them will be unsatisfied or something? I was playing SVR 06 in NFL Street 2 that day, and Fight Night Round 3, the world was different, bro. It was much simpler, you know? That's just how it is. Life is different. You know, I remember back then, my biggest worry was about John Cena if he would retain the title or something, you know? Or hating on Edge. MLB Power Pros. We used to have this MLB game as a kid. It wasn't MLB. It was this game where it's like, if you miss the shot, you get burned or something. It's crazy. Kind of random, but the theme for One Night Stand 2006 should have been Riot by 3 Days Grace. I mean, that would match low-key. Although I probably think the ECW faithful would call that song, and I'm just paraphrasing and assuming. They'd probably be like, that's some gay emo music. But I love that song. Let's start a riot. A riot. Let's start a riot. Well, yeah, that album is good. I will not die. I'm waiting for you. TLC 3 is my favorite of the TLC matches, but it can't be talked about. The one with the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and Chris Jericho and Benoit. Yeah, that's a wonderful match, and it happened on SmackDown. Bro, get back. Oh, it's good. All right, so I had a VPN connected. If you're like, why? Well, I have to use it for my videos. Just want to say that. But yeah, that's why it disconnected. As I was saying, the TLC 3 match is one of my favorite SmackDown matches. But my favorite SmackDown match ever, and you guys probably heard me say this, it's the Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton match from the SmackDown for WrestleMania 22. Love that one. I had the TLC 09 pay-per-view DVD. Yeah, that's a good pay-per-view. Decent. I think the Jericho Show and DX ladder match is underrated. Christian and Shelton was great. What else? Undertaker, Batista. I don't really remember much about it, but yeah. I miss the days where we had great, crazy matches like that on free TV. Yeah. What's the craziest TV match I remember? Cena on Michaels isn't crazy. It's a great one, but I'm talking about like, I remember the Miz and Jerry Lawler ladder match, which is better than it had any right being. What else? Oh, you guys remember this? I know some of you. You guys remember that Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy stretcher match? That was pretty good. Well, that's a pay-per-view level match. They put it on SmackDown. Yeah, Matt Hardy beating his brother Jeff. Like, they were trying so hard to push Matt at the time. It's like, damn. Yeah, there's some good memories. What else? I remember some random title changes like Cena and Ray. Stuff like that. TLC is an underrated match type, but making a pay-per-view about it was dumb. Bro, back then they were desperate. They just wanted to like do any concept in any shape or form to make money. Fatu needs to win the world title and make the story more interesting till SummerSlam. Keep on dreaming, bro. You're gonna get the same promos from Roman. My issue with Roman recently is like he's not testing himself. Like the matches are good. I think the matches are good, but as a character, it's the same stuff. You will acknowledge me. Jey Uso freaking riding on his dick. Like, bro, he's doing this on it. Roman, huh? You satisfied, Roman? All right, that's not good. That's not good. But you guys get the point. It's like the glaze needs to end. Like, Jey Uso needs to be his own guy. And I hate the fact that for a character that had a lot of layers in 2022, 23, has been dumbed down to being a show for Roman Reigns again. Bro, Jey in 23 was one of the best characters. Legitimately. And look at him now. You need to acknowledge him, oops. And he's mad, he's all red and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, what about the time you turned on him? What about the time you super kicked him? It sucks. In 2001, we got one of the best Raw matches ever when it was Triple H and Austin versus Benoit and Jericho, the quad tear that changed many plans going forward. It's also the one that brought the YouTube Beautiful Day promo. Yeah, that's probably the best Raw match ever. Probably. I remember in 2002 on Raw, RVD and Jeff Hardy had banger ladder matches. Yes, that. Yeah, I remember. Not from memory, but yeah. I'm surprised they didn't make a pay-per-view about matches on a poll. Well, bro, the booker that would book that match, he wasn't in control at the time. Dan O'Brien versus AJ Styles in 2020 SmackDown IC title tournament finals is a SmackDown classic. Indeed, it is. Remember me and Premier was going back and forth on Discord about how Raw 2009, LOL, Premier hates those words. Bro, SmackDown 09 better. Listen. SmackDown after the draft in 2010 is worse than Raw. Raw at the time was better, but it wasn't anything special. Listen, I remember watching it as a kid. SmackDown's just way better, bro. From the intro of the show to the actual stories. Try to hide, but there's no way. And then you turn on Raw, you hear Nickelback. Like, bro. Raw 09, you want Hornswoggle? Ha ha ha. Oh, ha ha. Remember the TLC 2014 when they added the stairs? I feel like the stairs are the most useless weapons out of all of them. But imagine if they did a freaking Singapore and Kane pay-per-view, bro. AEW needs a brand split even if it's copying. Problem is, bro, a lot of people are going to say they're copying. You know, like there's a lot of good concepts that WWE has, like Hell in a Cell, the brand split. And low-key, they do need it, but we'll see. Fun fact in AEW right now, Edge and Christian holding their first tag team title since 2001. Bro, I'm certain for a fact that they would have held it if they didn't leave in 21. If Christian didn't leave. Cena versus Punk on Raw 2013 is my favorite TV match ever. It was so damn good. Yeah, I watched that when I was like, ugh. Not wrestling rated, but did you watch Obsession? That movie was awesome. I was actually going to watch that in the theater. You know, my sister was like, oh, we got to watch it. I'm like, bro, what is this? I'm like, okay. But I did watch the Michael Jackson movie, you know. You better do it, better do. Raw 2009 had Al Sharpton as guest host. Yeah. What's your favorite rock song? I don't know. Problem is, like with the genres, I can't give you a singular song. That's the thing. I do listen to. I want to say I listen to rock per se, but I do know individual songs. You know. Cena versus Punk Raw 2013 was lit, bro. That match, bro. Inject it like this. If they put a drug over that, it'd be like. Pew, pew, pew. Randy Orton is down. Raw 2013 lives rent free in my head. See, bro, people remember the TV matches. See, you guys remember the TV matches. The thing about the TV matches is they're not expected to be as good as they are. So when they show up and be like, oh, like this, it's like, oh. My favorite TV match is Cena versus Bray versus AJ Styles in SmackDown in 2017 for the WWE title. Yeah, I remember that. 09 Raw was deep in the guest host era. That's a large part why it was so awful. Yeah. The thing is, bro, I'm going to tell you this. Listen. Raw 09 had the makings of a decent show. They just blew it with constant rematches. Triple H and Randy Orton and John Cena. It's like, bro, let's some new blood up here, bro. You're going to see Scary Movie 6 in theaters. Isn't Mr. Sinet in that movie? Have you seen the Warriors movie about the Stewie Gangs, 1979, the movie Rockstar made a game about? I know about it, but I never watched it. There's plenty of movies I didn't watch. You know, some of them like, for example, Carlito's Way. I finally watched it like 2 years ago. I'm like, bro, why the hell didn't I watch this a long time ago? You moron. You dumb idiot. Why don't you watch this? And that's a good feeling to have. It's like, I really like this movie. You're moved by it. Like, I haven't been watching movies recently. I haven't been doing anything. Like, I just put on a Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares and that's it. And it's like, that's all. 2009 SmackDown. Oh, and wrestling matches. I've been watching a lot of wrestling matches because I just want to, you know, not WWE stuff. Very into it now. 2009 SmackDown would have been better if Edge didn't get injured and Jeff Hardy stayed. Yeah. 2014 WWE is a solid year in my opinion. Decent. I do think that it could have been a bit better than it was, but there's some things they weren't going to do. Like, you guys remember Dean Ambrose at the time, how popular he was? And then they brought in the Bray Wyatt feud and sucked all that momentum away from him. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to get this over. Your name is not Roman Reigns. Your name is not Seth Rollins. And they freaking pushed them down a notch. Double or Nothing was the greatest pay-per-view of the year so far. I'm starting to slow down WWE. AEW right now is for me is better. Yeah, I think Double or Nothing was the best pay-per-view of the year. Just want to say. I don't think it was the best pay-per-view of all time like some people said it was. You know. Punk and AJ always brought the best out of Cena in ring. Yes. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade was a great TV rivalry, and the matches on Raw and SmackDown were so good. Bro, Rey Mysterio at the time, he had like that stem cell treatment. It's like this. It's like, bro, aren't you supposed to be like 50? Carlito's Way is too good. Yeah, bro, I loved it. What's his name? Benny Blanco from the Hood or something? I forgot. I'm so sick about hearing that about the damn hantavirus. Yeah, they could keep that thing. Virus gimmick in 2026. GTA 6 pre-order going live this summer. Best Buy lied about it last week, and I stayed home all week trying to get pre-order, and man, I was suffering. Like I was saying about the hantavirus, I don't know what's up with it. I think it's like Ebola in 2014 or something. I don't know. Like, I remember Ebola in 2014, and I was in Morocco at the time, right? They're like, oh, Ebola! And like, the most wild part, I remember like, because there's a lot of Africans that come to the country. They're like, they're like low-key racist. Like, get away from me. We got freaking Ebola. And they obviously don't have Ebola because, you know, it wasn't spread out to that level. But yeah, that's same thing that happened with COVID. People are like, oh, you're Chinese, you got COVID. Like, people become crazy. But with regards to the GTA 6 pre-orders, I heard about it. I believed it at first. But then when it came time for it to come, I'm like, what the hell? Now we're waiting for trailer 3, bro. John Morrison versus Ray was another banger from 09 SmackDown. I remember watching that when it aired. That's actually a great match. Ray in 09 was wonderful. What are the craziest go-home shows that almost nobody remembers is the go-home show, the TLC 2012. It was The Shield, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Brian, Kane, and Ryback going crazy. Yeah, I might have watched that. Now, I used to watch a lot of stuff during that. Oh, you guys remember The Shield versus the Rhodes brothers? Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Yeah, that's what they used to call him. Have you seen some of WWE's house shows and dark matches from any era? What's your favorite? There's this one that popped up of a Sunday Night Heat from 98 with Austin going crazy with Undertaker, The Rock. I think Mankind and Kane were in it. I enjoyed that. But there's some I want to watch, like Savage is from like 92, but I haven't gotten to them. People could think that it's the same as COVID, even though they said it's not. I don't think it's like COVID. I do believe I had COVID about 2 years ago. For me, it was like a flu, and that's it. I was like, okay. I remember, because like it tired me out, but it felt like it was a regular flu. You know, it was like, and like I was so like warm, bro, like this. But once I slept and woke up, it was like I was all good. Which show would you rather watch? Crown Jewel 2018 or Super Showdown 2019? Showdown 19. It's burning high. I randomly remember when Sting had a match on Raw in 2015. I stayed up all 3 hours for it. Premier, do you think that as you get older, you lose your interest in wrestling you once had as a child? I think maybe, but I think that there'll always be a part that likes pro wrestling, you know? Because if that's the case, I would be disinterested in football as well and certain other things. You know, like growing up, I liked action movies. I still like action movies. Same thing with wrestling. I still like it. And ever since I liked football, as in soccer, I've never let go. Like, yeah, there might be periods I might not watch. Like, during the COVID era, I was watching way more wrestling than I did of soccer or football. After COVID, it's like, okay, it's good now. And it happens sometimes. But I think overall, I'm not going to quit the thing I'm interested in. What's going on with Morgan's title run? They have no clue what to do. Bro, that title run's a whatever thing, bro. Legitimately. It's like, if you're not going to book people to have opponents, and good opponents at that, why book them as champion? Like, bro, Triple H needs to answer to God at this point. Giving people championships, uneventful endings, nonsense like this. Remember when the Shield randomly beat up Fandango? Yeah, bro. They had it out for him that day. Joe and Ospreay put on a banger that show. Swerve and Bandito straight fire. My favorite match, though, was Takeshita and Okada. Yeah, the Joe and Ospreay match is a bit different. Because, like, they're trying to make Ospreay work more grounded. I'm mostly excited for the Italian crowd this Sunday because international crowds are always loud. Yes. Freed from desire. Batista versus Taker 07 cage match as well. I remember watching that live as a kid. Then freaking Mark Henry showed up. And on top of that, Edge. Bro, Edge at the time to me was Al-Qaeda. I'm serious. Like, Edge at the time was an international... He was equivalent to an international terrorist. Like, I hear, you think you know me? I'm like, bro, what the hell is this? What this time, bro? This time he's on SmackDown? Like, he had enough of annoying John Cena on Raw. Now he's annoying Undertaker and Batista. When LeBron retires, bro, my heart is going to never feel the same. Well, it's coming, bro. Bro, LeBron's been around ever since I could remember. Like that, he used to wear the headband back in the day. You know, time does fly, though. Like, you grow up, you see Shaq, Kobe, all these players, Carmelo Anthony and stuff like that. But as they fade, it's like, damn, time really does fly. I know you weren't born in the 70s and 80s, but are you aware about the topics about Black Saturday, the territory years, and the national expansion of WWF in the 80s? Yeah, I'm aware of them, casually. Like, I know how Vince McMahon decided, you know, well, I'm going to take these deals and all this stuff and take over. And with that, I feel like he was a very smart businessman, but at the same time, he killed the territories. I do think that to be honest, I do think that a lot of those promoters were mad at him, not because that he did that, but because they weren't the first to think about it. Like, deep down, you don't think some of them were like, maybe we should be the ones to expand nationally. But he had all the pieces, bro. Like, he had Hulk Hogan, the MTV stuff, you know, Cyndi Lauper, and then the first WrestleMania, which succeeded, Roddy Piper, Mr. T, Muhammad Ali. Bro, everything was in place for him. But and they reaped the benefits, you know. But like by 1987, the WWF was an international company. Easy lover, you wanna hold what you believe in. But yeah, they reaped the benefits. The NWA and all those guys, they just didn't benefit from it at all. But that did change wrestling significantly. Because, you know, people viewed wrestling now the WWE way as opposed to how it was back then. Is Gunther winning the world title on Sunday? We'll see. I think people forget how Triple H booked WWE in 2022. Wrestling fans are just dumb sometimes. I'm not defending his booking currently, but people need to understand that it's different now than 2022. Yeah, but you got to understand. I feel like a lot of people do got to understand that he had a lot of pieces in play from the Vince era. Rhea Ripley, the Judgment Day, the Roman title reign, which I believe Sami Zayn was in the storyline while Vince was around. And Cody, of course, who was fresh at the time. 3 most dastardly heels with aura. Heel Orton, heel Edge, heel Punk, both straight edge, and post WWE title reign Punk. Bro, CM Punk 2013 is probably the best version of him ever. I'm gonna say it right now. I think 2013 Punk is better than straight edge. Straight edge Punk was botched. I feel like that version of him should have won the world title again. You know? I'm talking about Straight Edge Society Punk. That version of him should have dominated the summer, and then, you know, he changes his look and all that, and he moves to Raw. But the way they did everything was just so messed up. He had Serena, he had Luke Gallows, Joseph Mercury. He had something there, you know? It could have worked well, but such is life. I agree, WWE focus much more on the sports entertainment side of wrestling as opposed to the meat and potato side of most other territories. Yeah, and at the same time, they also, like, just maximize them. Like, the territories, they love the babyface, you know, he gets beaten up, doing the comeback. They just brought in Hulk Hogan, and it's like, that's it. That was enough. But they really benefited a lot, you know? They went nationally and all this stuff. It's a fascinating story, you know? I gotta read more into it. But I did read about the promoters being so pissed off at Vince that they almost considered killing him and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, the WWF, like, when we look at 1984 to 1992, I think it was very well layered. Everything about it was aligned perfectly in a way that I don't feel any era aligned it as well as. If you're like, what do you mean? The tag team division was excellent. The mid-card scene was excellent. The main event scene was excellent. Everything was streamlined perfectly. You had comedy, you had great action, you know, Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, stuff like that. And then you got the spectacle of the main event scene. And despite all of this, all of the characters, whether they're mid-card or main event, looked like superstars. You know? So it worked out very well for them. This year's kind of transitional for the WWE. That's the only saving grace of the current booking. It's just dull. You know, we just want something like different. Don't forget heel Jericho in 2008 when he made Shawn Michaels miserable. Yeah, that's the thing about it, bro. I think Chris Jericho is a GOAT. I don't care if people be like, he's not as good as he is. I don't care. 2008 carries him for me alone. Just 2008. That era was so good. He's like, I'm not Y2J anymore. All of you pathetic parasites fail to look in the mirror and realize you are the true hypocrites. Like, bro, I was learning dictionary level words from CM Punk and Chris Jericho in 2008 and 2009. Legitimately. Bro feuded with Big Show for 6 months in 2010. Shake my head. Yeah, bro. Listen. I feel like CM Punk's booking in 2010 was a huge disservice and almost sabotaged deliberately. I think he should have been the world champion instead of Jack Swagger. I think Ray should have won it off of him. You could do whatever you want afterwards. Trust me, bro. All people do is complain nowadays. I'm guilty of it too at times, but WWE isn't only a company. There's amazing options catered towards different type of fans. All right, I agree with that. Just want to say that right now. There's a lot of options as it relates to professional wrestling. Whether you want even the in-house WWE thing with AAA, if you want CMLL, you want Stardom, you want Mighty Gold, you want New Japan, you want Noah, you want All Japan, you want AEW. There's a lot of different stuff there. But I feel like the reason why people gravitate towards the WWE itself is simple. The WWE provides a huge spectacle. You know, it feels big time. It feels like the NFL of the wrestling world. And that's something that I don't feel like other promotions could match. Like New Japan could match it as sometimes, AEW could, but none of them match it consistently as WWE, I'd say. And if you tell someone to watch Mexican wrestling, they're gonna be like, Mexican wrestling? If you tell them to watch Japanese? Huh? I wonder what you think about this. CM Punk says that the majority of people from the Attitude Era time stopped watching when WCW died and never thought about wrestling again. Yes, agreed. Listen, a lot of people grew up with World Championship Wrestling. And even though WCW was a bit different to what it was in the past by the end, it was still WCW. Whereas whatever you're talking, whatever vibe you're looking for with that Southern wrestling, it wasn't with the WWF. The WWF was more Northern and all that stuff. And obviously someone's going to be like, well, WCW's done. I stuck all the way to the end. Why should I continue? It's true. Premier, what's the thing you hate about growing up and becoming a grown up? Well, I gotta pay for everything now, bro. But such is life. You know, oh, I gotta pay. Well, so do other people. So do you guys in the chat. You guys gotta pay for stuff all the time. It's like, oh, everything's expensive, this and that. That's the only thing I hate. Other than that, you know, it's life. You know, you gotta grow up. Do I dwell about the past sometimes? Yeah, but we're in the now. You know, you gotta look forward. We do need something different from the booking because I can't even bring myself to watch the current weekly product anymore. It's rough. Yeah, it's dull. Tribalism is terrible. I'll never forget the time when AEW fans attacked because I didn't know who Tekla. Sorry, my mistake. I don't have time to watch everything. All right, I'm telling you something about the AEW fans. The AEW fans have this thing about them where they're like this cagey underdog. It's like, you're the bully. We want to fight you. And they also have this like superior complex where it's like, you don't know about that wrestler from Marigold? You do watch wrestling? It's like, bro, first of all, I don't got time to watch everything. Number two, even if I do watch something, I'm gonna watch a match. I'm not gonna watch the entire show. Like, that's the thing about it. So recently, over the last 2 weeks, I've been watching some random classic wrestling matches. The only issue is I don't watch the full shows themselves. If you're like, what do you mean by that? For example, the other day, I watched Samoa Joe and AJ Styles Turning Point 2005. Wonderful match. Probably the best AJ Styles match in TNA. But I also wasn't compelled to watch the rest of the show. What I'm trying to say is that time is limited. You know, we don't got time to watch all of this stuff. We could watch some stuff here and there, this and that, but such is life. You know, I watched, this is another issue I had. So, over the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to watch, like, New Japan, ROH, and TNA, like, random matches. My issue with the New Japan matches is they're long. So, you know what I gotta do? A loophole. I gotta watch G1 tournament matches, because those are short enough. You know? But those matches are great. You know, like, the G1 stuff is crazy. Also, seeing your parents get old. Yeah, bro. You know. Thing is about life, it's bittersweet. It's like, I find the success or something, it's like, but I'm 35 or 40. You know? You should post about famous popular wrestlers who had terrible gimmicks in the past before finally becoming successful. I don't know if you did that or not. I'll see. Is there a moment in wrestling that definitely shocked you, like you jumped out of your chair? When CM Punk returned in 23. It was kind of crazy. AEW fans are the more hardcore fans, but WWE fans do the same. Each fan base just loves the trade. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. The reason why the WWE fan base doesn't get that kind of issue is because a lot of people view the WWE fans as like the family, whereas the AEW fans are like the neckbeards. I'm just putting it simply, guys. That's just how people view it. You know? I personally, I'm more in the middle as it relates to stuff. Like for example, you ask me if I like pro wrestling or storylines. Nowadays, pro wrestling. If you're like, why? I'm bored of the stories to death. The stories aren't creative. They're not new. I could give a damn about them at this point. I would rather watch a good wrestling match. But at the same time, I do like the spectacle of stuff. You know, like I might go back and watch a Hulk Hogan match or a Bret Hart match for the spectacle. I would say it was crazy for CM Plus to say that because millions of people never switching to WWE didn't make sense as it's still wrestling, but I see why you agree. Because WWE and WCW is different. It's as simple as that. Like, WCW, they ran some different kind of matches. And vibe overall. Yes, I agree. You agree on what? I didn't think Punk was going to come back because it was essentially the boy who cried wolf situation and I was over it. Alright, with regards to the CM Punk situation, it doesn't, listen, like on a personal level, I don't hate the Bucks, Punk, Jack Perry and all that. Like, yeah, it's a silly thing, but I'm not going to let it affect my personal interest in a wrestler. Why? Well, I see football players, I see basketball players, they do some stupid stuff on the daily, and it doesn't let me affect my interest in said performer. So why should it affect the way I view wrestling? Because if that's the case, we shouldn't watch wrestling anymore. And plus, whatever CM Punk and the Bucks did is nothing compared to what other wrestlers have been doing for years. You know? Like, there's other wrestlers that associate with Predators, or, like, straight up. You guys know the guy Chasing Rance? Like, he has a lot of wrestler friends. I'm not even talking about Marty Scurll, who's obviously has some buddies, but this guy Chasing Rance, he's like one of the biggest, like, one of the dirtiest professional wrestlers out there. And a lot of people openly associate with him. That's a bigger problem than just some backstage fight or whatever the hell it was. Like, that's nonsense. I'd rather take boring wrestling than trashing wrestling, and I take boring stories as well. I love all wrestling. Yeah. But like I said, I just like good wrestling now. I don't care about storylines because they're not creative. Nothing's gonna come around like the NWO in '96, Vince and Austin in '98. They're the same stories, very predictable, nothing new. It's like, I just want to hear the bell ring at this point. I could appreciate a good promo. And what's funny is that it took me several years to get into the wrestling matches as a kid. But once I was into it, I never let go, you know? Wasn't Marty Scurll friends with the Elite? Bro, I was laughing my ass off the other day. You know why? This guy took a picture with, what's his name? Hangman. And he posted, I'm like, bro, obviously this should be on the down low, but looking at it from his position, wouldn't you want your friend to do the best? It's like he's lashing out on him low-key by posting that picture. But yeah, Hangman, you know, blah, 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 this and that. He gets caught doing that. It's just funny, you know? Plus, he had beef with Triple H and was fired on his wedding day, so it didn't look like he was going to come back. Hey, time heals a lot of wounds. You think social media killed the vibe of WWE? Partly, but at the same time, I do feel like, I'm going to explain it to you. The social media issue comes down to a couple of things. A lot of people think that they should be catered to individually. Like, bro, no, that wrestler's not becoming world champion. Are you crazy? Are you insane? But at the same time, I do think it's valid that certain wrestlers deserve chances like LA Knight, who unfortunately has been botching recently, but he's still a good promo. Speaking of G1 matches, have you seen AJ Styles versus Minoru Suzuki from G1 2014? Nope, but we'll put it on the list. Recently, I watched what's his name? Tanahashi Nagata, G1 2011. What else? I watched the Tanahashi Nakamura match from 2011. 5 stars. 5 stars. That's the second best match of 2011. I watched Davey Richards versus Kenta, both of the matches. They're good matches. It's crazy how Davey Richards fell off, though. Just want to say that. That guy was like, he was on the cusp of something, but then he just fell off like crazy. Kenta, awesome wrestler, bro. That Kenta guy, one of the best of all time. Banger. Yeah, Hangman Page got backlash for that picture of Scurll, and rightfully so. Listen, I watch wrestling for the wrestlers. Obviously, you could question their characters, but I just feel like that's dumb. From his side, and of course, Marty's side. From Hangman's side, you talk a big game about this stuff, but you didn't follow up on this, right? And on the other side, Marty's an idiot for putting his friend in that position where it's like, now people are going to criticize him. Like, what's wrong with you? Thoughts on Dom saying WWE is wasting him? Buddy, listen, I think Dom is good as a character, but he's got to settle down. I know he's talking in character, but bro, we got way more talented wrestlers on the card. I do think Dom's time will come where he'll get a push, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to come. I don't think they're going to waste him entirely, but they're just spinning the wheels right now. The spectacle of a heel John Cena to me was enough of a reason to at least give some sort of reason to tune into it. Yeah, initially. Punk is going to get a lot worse because it's going to be taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law. This joke's on you, Punk. Now you're not working for that doofus son-in-law. I would think it's jokes on Punk, but bro, that guy's probably making like the third most in the WWE right now, which could be anywhere from $3 million to $6 million. But yeah, I do think there's gonna come a time. This might be a hot take. Triple H is gonna get kicked out. It's not gonna happen now, but I do think in the future they're gonna want to like streamline and clean things up. They're gonna kick him out, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. After the Fatu stuff, they better do Finn versus Roman at Saturday nights. Bro, Roman is not gonna wrestle him. I would love for Finn Balor to face Roman Reigns again. They have some good chemistry together, but it's not gonna happen. I hope I'm wrong. Thoughts on CM Punk as a commentator? Very funny, insightful in some ways, although he does a lot of backhanded stuff. After the Fatu stuff, my GOAT Dom Mysterio clears everyone. Clears everyone where? On the Judgment Day. Also, how are we feeling with Fatu's run so far this year? I think he's doing good, but bro, I do wish he wins the title, but it is what it is. I hope they continue his momentum after the feud, though. Because then, you know, it's like violence, like all crazy. And he got that fire back that he had in 24. It might even be better now. Seems like I gotta watch Tanahashi versus Nakamura 2011. Only seen a handful of G1 matches. Yes, that's the one. It starts off slow, but then the machine gets rolling, and it's crazy. But yeah, I do like watching from time to time, like non-WWE classic stuff. It's just about time, you know? I wish I could watch a lot of crazy stuff here and there, but it's tough, you know? ROH, I watched Bryan Danielson and Takeshi Morishima, the Nigel and Morishima match. What else? What else? Joe and Morishima. And I've been on a Samoa Joe binge recently. If you're like, why? He's just a great wrestler, straight up. He brings a lot of like hatred and intensity, and also a lot of athleticism. He's just so damn good. Like mid-2000s Samoa Joe is a special talent. John Cena's final Elimination Chamber match is my favorite matches of all time. It doesn't get enough love. Yeah, that's a good one. Hold on, guys. Give me a moment. Bro, what the hell's wrong with my hair? I don't know. Alright, we're back. Top 5 best Undertaker matches in 1997. Alright, this is gonna be a bit hard, to be honest. I'm gonna name the SummerSlam match. It's a bit long, but it has a lot of great drama. And the Mankind match. The In Your House Mankind match is great. Austin match is decent, but I don't really remember much from it. And that's it. That's all I remember. I know they say never in wrestling, but at one point I was convinced that Punk was never going to come back, especially since he talked all that shit for 9 years straight. Yeah. The thing is, I didn't believe he would come back too. Like, that guy used to talk so damn much. You guys remember back in the day? He used to trash the company like almost every couple of months. John Cena doing the stream? Good one. U.S. Elimination Chamber match? That's what the IC title chamber match should have been. Yeah, that's a good one. Joe vs. Ospreay from Double or Nothing was great. It was only 14 minutes. Yes, I enjoyed that one. I don't see any of the titles changing hands, unfortunately, this weekend, at least for world titles. Yeah. Vince fumbled Joe on the line. I want Brock versus Joe for you to be longer. Yes. Bro, Joe is unlucky, bro. That guy got injured at the worst times. What are your thoughts on Mick joining AEW and then booing The Rock? Well, they boo The Rock because he represents, like, TKO. But Mick Foley would be a good addition, but not as a commentator. I think, like, he could have, like, some sort of mini feud with MJF without fighting. Like, I don't think Mick Foley should be fighting. Straight up. But I do think he could, like, throw jabs with MJF, as they teased. Although, what are the odds we could get Roman versus Cody 3 at Crown Jewel for that gimmick title? 0. If you're like, why do I think it's 0? Well, the issue with Roman and Cody, one of them has to lose. It's as simple as that. They're going to protect themselves. But at the same time, I do think it's stupid because at the same time, it's like, you're losing to the best wrestler in WWE. So when you look at it that way, technically, both of them are right to not face each other. If you're like, what do you mean by that? Well, if you lose, you're automatically the second biggest wrestler in the WWE, technically. Bro, I need to open the window. Hold on. Alright, we're back. They did as much as they could with Joe, considering how unlucky it was with injuries. Agreed. Thoughts on Undertaker's worst WrestleMania match with Giant Gonzalez in 1993? The best part of that match was the entrance. Other than that, Undertaker was just getting, like, destroyed, and the horrible outfit that Giant had was something. Like, bro, Undertaker in his early WrestleMania years, yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Like, he didn't have a good WrestleMania match until, like, freaking Diesel at 12. Then after that, 13, nah. 14, yeah, I like him more. 15 is a death sentence, one of the worst WrestleMania matches ever. Like, bro, the Hell in a Cell match was so boring. He comes out looking like Lucifer. It's dull. And Lucifer part is good, I'd say. You know, he looked scary. But other than that, that match sucked. And then on top of it, they hung the big boss man as if it's supposed to be the big storyline. King, the boss man's hanging from the cell. It's like, bro, can Undertaker's WrestleMania matches get any worse? They didn't. I'm saying Gunther is beating Cody so that Cody will feud with Sammy, and hopefully Randy is healed by SummerSlam to beat Gunther to get his 15th. We'll see. I think the Sami Zayn thing is one you guys shouldn't sleep on. I see a lot of people hating on him, but I think this is going to be a good one for him. I don't know if it'll result in the world title, but I think Sami Zayn is going to pour his all into this storyline. The match with Bossman was only 9 minutes. Yeah, and thank God it was. Like, bro, I know it's a Hell in a Cell match, but thank God that was 9 minutes. Bro, that year, they should have had Undertaker and Kane 2. I don't care. Fight me, whatever. Undertaker and Kane 2 inside Hell in a Cell would have been wonderful. I know they feuded half of 1998, but they could do it again for WrestleMania. This is symbolic. Then he spoiled the main event. He's like, catch the Home Shopping Network to get an interview with the new World Wrestling Federation champion. It's like, bro, you dumbass, you idiot. But yeah, Michael Cole's obviously had to learn the hard way, you know? Now he's the ultimate company stooge. I went to All Out in Toronto last year, and I gotta say it was the greatest experience ever. AEW in person is amazing compared to WWE. AEW crowds actually make noise, yes. The thing is, listen, a lot of people, they're not gonna try out AEW, and that's their thing. I just think that, I'm not gonna say they're missing out entirely, but I feel like there's gonna be at least one thing they like about it. Just one thing. Now that I think about it, what the F are they doing for Sammy at WrestleMania 33 if he's lining up for a heel run? We'll see. I fell asleep during WrestlePalooza. It was so boring. That show was so boring, bro. The main event pissed me off. It was just like, it was decent, but it's like disappointing. I'm a Sami Zayn ride or die, making money in the bank, cashing on Orton or Cody. We'll see. I actually had Logan Paul winning Money in the Bank, not because I like him, but I just guessed he would win. Now he's out with an injury, so I might have to say it could be Sami Zayn. Like, it could be Zayn. And on the women's side, it could be Lash Legend, JC Jane. We'll see. Very WWE commentator. Basic answer, but Jim Ross, you know? Jim Ross, even in WCW, was pretty damn good. Like, the other day, I watched Sting versus Big Van Vader. I forgot which one it was. It was a 92 one. And spoiler alert, pause the video if you have no interest in hearing the result. Vader won. He was so exciting here. You like Sammy or Owens more? Owens, 200%. The reason why I like Owens more is because this guy he makes the most out of everything. And what I appreciate about Kevin Owens is that he'll fit any promotion in the US. You know? That's the thing about it. Kevin Owens, he worked so hard to get where he is. You know, like I remember when he came to WWE early on, they're like, oh, he's fat and all this. He gets a little more fit. He works even harder. He's very committed. And I do think that Kevin Owens, as good as he is, had an unfulfilled career in WWE. I think he could have been like number 2 babyface level. If you're like, why? Well, you guys remember Kevin Owens pre-COVID, like right before COVID. He was pretty damn popular. But that momentum wasn't fulfilled. They had that Aleister Black story where he was blind or something. The Roman story was pretty good, but after that, it just faded. But yeah, Kevin Owens, I do wish that if he comes back, he wins the WWE Championship. I think he'll deserve it 200%. Like, honestly, this sounds delusional. I wish that if Kevin Owens comes back, he wins the title in his first match. I don't care. I said it. I don't care about no struggle storyline. They could have him win the title the first match he comes back. One thing I don't get about WWE fans, they swear they have the best product, but always complaining about the company. I'm going to tell you what it is with WWE fans. You guys know the siblings that always argue, but when someone talks about that sibling, the other sibling defends them? That's what it is. And the thing is, a lot of people have this attachment to WWE. You know, like I grew up a WWE fan, still am, you know, but I'm not going to defend them with all my heart, you know, because at the end of the day, I don't know these people. And on top of it, Ari Emanuel would shoot me for an extra $1. Vince McMahon would probably shoot me for an extra $1, but Ari Emanuel in particular would shoot me and throw me in the garbage. I feel like Oba Femi should win King of the Ring. I was going to say Seth Rollins, but I think he'll face Braun Breaker at SummerSlam in a stipulation like Hell in a Cell. I'm over that story. The only reason I would be interested in it is because of the matches. You know, I enjoyed Seth and Braun. I thought it was good. Even though Seth was trying to be like 2015 Seth. So does Sammy. Sammy makes anything work. He turned the Bloodline to something even more special. And he turned a conspiracy storyline compelling back in 2020. No, they're very similar. It's just I like Kevin Owens a little more. No, I like Sami Zayn. I don't think the hate he has towards him recently is warranted at all. Like, yeah, he got a bit boring as a character, but I just feel like people just hop on the internet and see, oh, Sami Zayn sucks. And I do think, listen, this might be a hot take. I do think a part of it is because of his political views and his views on, of course, Palestine. Some people. But I feel like a lot of the hate that Sami Zayn has is definitely unwarranted. Like, yeah, he's boring, dull at times recently, but people write him off completely. Like, he could talk. He actually has a character, although his character right now is a bit annoying. He has a lot of value to him, you know? I like Owens. I think Sammy's a better worker and character. It might be a hot take. Now, Sami 14 was special. Like, ever since I knew about Sami Zayn in 2014, I always liked him. Like, in NXT Sami Zayn, the 2016, I like the conspiracy story because it's like, that was the worst point of his career. You guys remember, like, 2019 Sami Zayn, he was, like, cooked. This guy randomly starts this character and looks like Fidel Castro, does this, like, goofy dance, and it actually worked. Hey, bro, hope you're doing great. Shout out to you, Tyler Johnston. I haven't seen you in a while. Or maybe it'll be Randy Orton who will come back and win King of the Ring. We'll see. I gotta fry here. I just saw the Iron Man match between Danielson and MJF. AEW, in my opinion, has better match quality most of the time. I remember that Iron Man match. Bro, MJF was like, the story, if I remember correctly. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You watched the match. Was it a match where MJF was trying to swing and he was drowning? No. It was a match where MJF was trying to swim, but he was drowning as time went on, right? I don't remember it entirely, but that's how the match story went, if I remember correctly. And when the 60 minutes came in, he wanted to die. Is that what it was? Sami needs to cut the hair and beard, bring back the 2014 and 15 look, and we could... Yeah, bro, we need that look back. If you're like, why? Well, it'll signal that we're back. It's as simple as that. The latter match between Sami, AJ, and Jeff Hardy was genuinely the best thing I saw during the pandemic. Another reason of him making things work. Bro, Castro Zayn. Speaking of Iron Man matches, favorite Iron Man match. This might be the ultimate hot take I have. Last week, I watched... And listen, this is not me being like a tryhard. Legitimately. Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat. That 30-minute Iron Man match. Perfect. Like, bro, I watched that match a week ago, right? They paced it so perfectly. I can't even describe how good they paced it because it's like an Iron Man match isn't supposed to work like that. But they had like 5 stories in one match. The first part was Ricky Steamboat overwhelming Rude. Then he worked on the ribs. Then Rude steals it by luck, dominates, and then the final stretch. It's so hard to make a good Iron Man match. Legitimately, it's so hard. Especially if it's an hour. That one wasn't an hour. Elimination Chamber 2025 is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. I was in attendance and 3 of the 4 matches were top tier and Cena turned heel. Yeah. Remember he hugged them like this is like this and Rock's like this. Yeah, bro, sorry about it. Been rough with my epilepsy, but glad to be back stronger than ever. Yeah, I'm sorry for you. I hope you're well, though. Much appreciated. I gotta check that out, ain't no way, but if it has Steamboat working, I actually believe that. Rick Rude was good, too, here. And the last part, bro, the commentary was going crazy. You know, Jim Ross, what's his name, Jesse Ventura, great stuff. Yeah, he was about to tap out the end, but held on to the end, making it a draw. Then it was restored. He also threw a cup of water in kid's face. Yeah, that's the MJF match. I forgot about the water in the kid's face. Oh, that guy's such a douche, bro. Oh my god. That guy's such a douche. Mount Rushmore, best workers in your opinion. Alright, I'm gonna tell you this. The problem with best workers is gonna be very American-centric for me. Because, like, I've watched a bit of Japanese wrestling and, like, non-American wrestling, but I haven't dived deep into it. So I have my biases, you know? Obviously, I'm gonna put someone like Kurt Angle, right? I glaze Kurt Angle all the time. I put Bret Hart as well. I put Steamboat and Savage, I think. I think that's the big 4 for me. Like, best. Not favorite, like, best. I'll give you each reason. Kurt Angle's like a crackhead wrestling. You have to, like, practically destroy him endlessly to beat him, you know? I know people like, oh, Kurt Angle doesn't sell well enough, but I see him as, like, a crazy crackhead who's very good at this thing. Bret Hart, technical proficiency. You're like, what do you mean by that? Bret Hart's matches are always different from one another. Every match is significantly different. Savage, great showman, great character, always puts his all into the matches. And with Steamboat, name 5 faces better than Ricky Steamboat in ring. You can't. You cannot do that. Like, that guy, he's the perfect babyface in ring. no AJ. There's Mount Rushmore. There's 4. Like AJ Styles, I love AJ Styles. But it's 4 people, you know? You watched the Steamboat Flair trilogy, right? Yeah. Chi-Town Rumble's the best one. Lesnar versus Angle is a great Iron Man match as well. Yeah. I think AJ has to be on there. He has too many classics and makes his opponents always look good. Nah, AJ's wonderful talent. I watched him and Joe the other day. And the ROH match, which was good. AJ Styles, the one thing that I will give him is his level of influence and his longevity. This guy started in TNA. Well, he didn't start in TNA. He started in WCW, but ROH and TNA already, like his early days from 02 to 05, he had a plethora of classics. Then 06 to 2010 in TNA, he's going crazy. Even though his storylines suck, even though everything's going against him booking-wise, he's going 200% and he's bringing a good show for the fans. Then, this is where things get good. You guys remember when he, left TNA? Right? The final days, he has some good matches there, right? Then he leaves, goes to ROH, goes insane balling. People are like, well, I thought AJ Styles was good. Now he's an all-timer. They're going crazy. Like when he went to ROH in New Japan, this guy unlocked a whole new level that people didn't realize he was capable of, even though he was already great in ring. Like, bro, AJ Styles 2014 to 15 is incredible, and there's not many people you could say had a better peak than 14-15 Styles. Hell, you could extend that to his WWE run. And then he goes to the WWE. It's like, well, you might be reduced to a mid-carder. He doesn't give a damn. Goes crazy. Goes up to the very top of the industry. Wins the title. Holds it for a year, bro. This guy held the title for a year. You can't name 10 people that held a world championship for over a year in the WWE. You can't. And AJ Styles was one of them. It's so insane. And it's like, when you look at all of this, it's like, he has to be the all-timer. He really does. He has to be a top 20 wrestler, technically. Like, you could make a case for him. But yeah, that's the thing about AJ Styles. It's like, he's not supposed to do as well as he should have initially, but then he goes above and beyond and makes sure that his destiny is fulfilled. How would you book an AEW versus WWE Survivor Series match? Which guys would you pick? All right, this is a bit hard. I'm gonna have to go with Moxley, Hangman, Ospreay, Swerve, and MJF. Someone's left out of there, unfortunately. I forgot who. And on the WWE side, I would put Cody, Roman, Rollins, Punk. Punk is the middle guy. You know, will he join, will he not? That's 4. And number 5... Who's number 5? I'm missing someone. It could be Orton, or it could be... Hold on, guys. Just give me a moment. I might have to put... I'm missing someone. Gunther, probably. I'll put Randy Orton or Gunther in there. I think that's the Survivor Series match. People call me crazy for saying AJ is better than Omega, but you summed up AJ's career perfectly. It's just he overachieved. He was already expected to be like a wonderful talent, but he was more than that. And it's like, when people say AJ Styles is top 20 or top 10, you might not agree with it initially, but then you come around to it's like, okay, I get this. Because he succeeded everywhere he went. Also, I think AJ versus Cena, the greatest modern pay-per-view trilogy. It was special. It's crazy. AJ really showed up, had probably the greatest rookie year next to like maybe Brock Lesnar. Yeah, AJ wasn't a rookie, bro. That guy was a experienced vet. But you can't really have many better first years than AJ Styles. I'm ready for them to pull War Games to rest for a while and bring back the traditional Survivor Series match. It doesn't have to be Raw versus SmackDown. Agreed. They're not going to do that, though, because War Games. Get out of here. He's just, like, repetitive. I think War Games could work, but you need great stories. Remember the Bloodline one in 22? Remember the Undisputed Era versus Roddy Strong in the AOP? That kind. But yeah, you can make a case for a lot of wrestlers. You know, I see this like greatest wrestler ever discourse, but and I do read up on some of that stuff, but a lot of it does mean to like ignore other aspects. AJ made me care about James Ellsworth. Yeah. Now I met rookie year in WWE since UK, how they acted back then, yeah. IWGP Heavyweight Champion, same as Brock Lesnar. Just that name, just that quote over there from JBL elevates AJ Styles. But yeah, AJ, he just had some wonderful matches outside and inside the WWE. So much. crazy. Like, crazy town. Then you got Kurt Angle. Like, Kurt Angle is like the ultimate crackhead. Face or heel. You beat him up, he comes back with the ankle lock. Or he goes up to the moonsault like a crackhead. Boom. Angle slam. Top rope angle slam. It was crazy. And I do think someone like Brock Lesnar should be in there, but he doesn't care enough. You know, like Lesnar of 02 and 04 was a specimen. You guys remember 02, 04 Lesnar? Like, that version of Lesnar was like, I'm here and everything is mine now. But at the same time, he puts on great performances. Like, remember when Brock used to drop people with that clothesline? Like, Matt Hardy or freaking Jeff Hardy would spin backwards. Looked like he was sending them on a trip. Peak Angle was legendary. Angle he was like a tough pit bull. You know? But yeah, there's a lot of great wrestlers in the history of the industry. That's why we keep on watching, you know? It's just like there's some wonderful talent out there. And people turn... Every day a legend is made, I'd say. I know it sounds over-exaggerated, but you get the point, you know? Every day a star is born. Remember that rumor in 2017 when people were saying AJ and Shawn was going to happen at the Rumble? Yeah. Do I think it would have been good? Maybe. Every time someone mentions Ellsworth, always remember the time Jericho was cooking everyone in the ring before Survivor Series. Bro, Jericho with the list was incredible. 02 to 04 is the peak of Brock even now. Ever. Bro, Taz used to, well, here goes the pain. He comes out, then demolishes someone like crazy. He could work as a heel or as a face. He's a better heel, just want to say that. Incredible. I wonder what is next for Solo Sikoa, one of the biggest downgrades in this generation. Bro, Solo's got a place there because, you know, he's the Usos, his brothers. But it's like he's stagnant. He can't really do anything. I do want to see Solo as a face to be like, oh, maybe he's got something. And I actually enjoyed his match with Gunther a couple of months ago, but we'll see. So do you think AJ's better than Ospreay? I mean, AJ inspired Ospreay. We'll see how Ospreay's career ends up in 10 years. He's doing great right now, but we gotta see. It's just like the legend of AJ Styles is greater because of what he did everywhere. Ospreay's done well for himself in the Indies, and of course, New Japan. You know, he rose up the ranks, great matches. Like, that guy always used to turn up in the summer. But I want to see what he does in a couple of years to, like, make a proper assessment. You know? What's your Mount Rushmore of talkers in wrestling? Alright, this is a bit hard. The Rock, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, and we got to put a modern guy in there. We're putting in CM Punk, but it's tough. You know, you could put in John Cena, Steve Austin. You could put in Randy Savage. Who else? There's a lot of great guys. Jake Roberts, Mick Foley, Ric Flair. It's very tough. Like, the Mount Rushmore thing, the issue with it, it's always 4. It's never 5 or 10. It's hard, and it's always down to personal preference at times. Ironic choice of words because Kurt did have that painkiller addiction arguably at the apex of his career, yes. Loki was a crackhead, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I always thought Batista with the WWE title was weird. He was. You still play AEW Fight Forever? I haven't touched that game since it came out. I didn't like it. I thought it was very overhyped. And also heard that AEW wasted too much money on it. I didn't like it. No. But, like, I don't really like wrestling games at the moment. They're just, like, dull. I don't even play a lot of games recently, but the wrestling ones aren't at the top of my list. Plus, the 2K games have this issue with my faction. They charge you. Like, tell me why I gotta throw all these kind of cards and all this stuff to get Eddie Guerrero 05. Like, get out of here. I want Eddie Guerrero 05. Why can't I just get him as a regular unlockable? For my Rushmore always changes for me too. Yes, it's hard. There's different variables. Bro, I was saying to my friend the other day how they're wasting Rey Fenix. How do you have a talent like that and can't find anything for him? Just let him wrestle. Well, he was in Guantanamo Bay and he wasn't satisfied as well. You gotta put MJF in your top talkers conversation. Dude is elite. Bro, he's great. Do I think sometimes he does too much? Yeah, but I think he's great. There's no spot for Phoenix on the roster right now, I think. I think he should go to AAA. Like, if you have a big issue now, you go to AAA. You know, they're like, better call Saul. Well, now you better go to AAA if you want to solve any issue you had. It's very tough, though. You know, like, these wrestlers, bro, there's always one issue. They're always one issue away from release or one positive thing away from a push. It's so hard. It's really a big struggle. Isn't he already in AAA? Probably. I don't even watch AAA, to be honest. But it's just tough. I thought he already made some appearances there. Probably. Is MJF having better promos than CM Punk? Bro, I still put CM Punk above, bro. No way. CM Punk, bro, you bring... Listen. I'm going to tell you this. This is how you understand the anatomy of a CM Punk promo. At the end of the day, when it comes to a CM Punk promo, you have an assessment. Positive or negative. It's not, oh, whatever. You either like or you hate him. Not a lot of wrestlers have that. You know? Not a lot. And he always manages to bring like the grounded aspect of professional wrestling, a sense of realism. Case in point, the promo he had before All Out 2022. There was this promo here where he was doubting himself. Plenty of doubts and he felt that he was destroyed. But by the end of the promo, he was all fired up and re-motivated to challenge for the title he lost in like a minute. That promo alone is the best example of why CM Punk's an all-timer in promos. They easily could have had Phoenix in a ladder match. He would have done amazing, yes. And another thing, I feel like a lot of people tend to miss that CM Punk isn't just pipe bomb throwing in references. He does pro wrestling better than most, you know? He still brings that sense of traditionalism that people are like, oh, it's not around nowadays. Still does. CM Punk's recent world title reign, his entire AEW career. I mean, I like this world title reign. I thought his AEW run was decent as well, but it didn't reach its final form. He had a great feud with MJF. You know, he called him PG Punk. The stories he had with Darby and, of course, Eddie Kingston were enjoyable. He had something different there, but it never fully materialized to what it was because of, you know, drama. He was pissed off. The Bucks and the Elite, they're the Elite as a collective, they weren't working together. I think Punk's world title reign needed more defenses on TV, but I thought it was super fun. Bro, I assure you that if it happened in like 2019, it would have been looked on more positively because he would have defended on TV and more oftenly. You know? But how are you guys doing? Boom, boom, boom. He was putting on string Bakers with Braun, Finn, Jay, and the feud with Roman. Yeah, that Breakker versus Punk Raw match was generally perfect to me. Breakker was like this, he was too good for... No, he was too stupid for his own good. No, he was too inexperienced for his own good. Yeah, MJF does do cliches, I agree. But when he's locked in, he's locked in. Bro, I've always heard positive things for MJF since 2019. I'm doing okay, nice. But like I said, it's very hard to get yourself in great positions in wrestling. Some people might have a personal gripe with you. Like, look at Rey Fenix. Remember how he was crying to leave AEW, and now he's in the greener pastures, unable to work again? It's tough. Andrade, on the other hand, look at him. Aleister Black got released. No one wants him now. He probably has to go to TNA or freaking Progress Wrestling or something. That's what it is. It's very tough. Rusev. Look at Rusev now. He might be on TV, but it's like, it is very, very hard for him to get a push. I think there's a better chance of freaking, I think there's a better chance of Tozawa getting a push now than Rusev does. All I gotta say, definitely strange that the best in-ring worker in the WWE is Punk. I'm gonna tell you why that's strange. It's because they don't let their wrestlers go all out. That's what it is. After that match with Braun and Punk, I became a fan of Braun. Never liked him before. I like the build to WrestleMania. Yeah. I still think he's the best male wrestler of the year. You know? Well, yeah, that Breakker match was pretty good. He was wearing the Michigan jacket, if I remember. He was trying to mock the Steiners. And then Braun was like wrestling like a crackhead. Like, but then experience triumphs speed. You know? Dude, you saw Penta and Giovanni were allowed to run wild this weekend. How that went? Yeah, that was a good match. At least I heard, because I didn't watch it. Like, why didn't I watch it? I just didn't feel like watching Raw this week. I'll watch Raw this week, this Monday. Definitely. You know, it's a post pay-per-view show. They just gotta let the talent wrestle more. Agreed. That's the thing about it, bro. I think the WWE do a better service just letting the wrestlers go out there. It's just there's different variables. Oh, we gotta do sponsors, this and that. We gotta drag the show and stuff like that. Favorite brand-based B shows. All right, I'm gonna give you some. Vengeance 03, easy one. Backlash 04. No Way Out 06. My favorite one ever is Unforgiven, though. Unforgiven 06. Well, to be fair, Black and Rusev refused to lose at AEW since they had creative control, but with WWE, they have to answer to others. Just an example of being hard to work with. Yeah. I don't know why they were like that, especially Black in particular. Oh, my back. I can't put you over. I can't stay on my back for 3 seconds. It's like, well, how do you sleep? Can you wait? Do you wake up every 2 seconds? Yeah, that's odd. I do think that they would have done a hell of a lot better for themselves if they just did business. Like, I know you gotta protect yourself at times, but you're not the best wrestler on the roster, number one. You know? Like, Aleister Black, he had a lot of noise about him in 19 and 21. Nowadays, not so much. And I just find it funny. It's like, you think you're going back to WWE for greener pastures, but it's like, WWE is the most unpredictable company in the world. With Rusev, he's doing better than Black just by proxy of being on TV, but it's like he could be more. Javon should have dethroned Oba in NXT, in my opinion. Maybe it's because I've been a fan of him since DWP. Yeah, he should have. I don't know why they got him up on the roster before that. I think an issue as well is the age of their champions. Yes. Raw's watchable to me because there's good matches every week. SmackDown's awful, though. Bro, SmackDown, I don't even know how people get through it with 3 hours. Bro, Cody Rhodes comes out for some random promo, right? Then you see some match you didn't ask for. Then the main event, some Samoan stuff, bro. Like, I've seen enough of the Samoans. Like that. I don't think any wrestler should have creative control in today's wrestling. Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen. The only reason, no, not the only reason. One of the reasons people hate Hogan is because if they were in his position, they would politic. There's no way in hell the wrestlers of the 80s weren't gonna be selfish. Yeah, okay. I don't think any wrestler. Yeah, SmackDown, Cody and Shaw. Yeah, bro, their tactics are like freaking Zidane in 2018. Like, he used to rely on Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema. It's like, go out there. How's Nikita Lyons still employed? Well, she's a good promo now, so maybe that's why. But she actually developed into a decent promo now. I think she's actually one of the best on NXT, although feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Other than that, I don't know. How long did it take you to realize SmackDown was taped on Tuesday? I thought it was live on Friday. 2011. Everyone was selfish back then, especially because they didn't have anything besides wrestling at the time. Not only that, bro. A lot of those people didn't grow up in the wrestling industry. You know? A lot of them coming from sporting backgrounds or some bar fights or something. It's very different. But a lot of the wrestlers try to look out for themselves because the promoters would screw them over. Like, you know? Like Vince, all the other guys, they would screw you over. If they found a way to screw you over, they would. With Hogan, I've seen like, oh, I should have put over this guy, this and that, but he was the biggest name in the industry. We have enough reasons to dislike Hulk Hogan. Not like nowadays where most wrestlers try to break into different areas, yes. But I do think that the best case scenario for any wrestler in the industry right now is to keep a good relations with the other promotions. You could be Team WWE, but tomorrow they could release you. Especially because these contracts are worth nothing. You sign a 3-year deal, you might not make it 3 years. And apparently you can't even sign a no-cut clause. Like, bro, I swear to God, if I was ever a wrestler and I was approached by WWE, I would literally tell them I would want a downgrade, but no cut contract. Because getting cut means you have to move out of some place, you have to readapt and some stupid stuff like that. But I don't think they even offer no cut contracts. I prefer AJ's first run versus current run. Are you talking about AJ Lee? Because that's easy. Nikita slimmed down quite a bit. Doesn't even hit the same. Doesn't hit the same for your eyes or something, bruh. Come on. People gotta be comfortable with themselves. But like I was saying, a lot of stuff. The funny thing is, some wrestlers we watch nowadays already burnt a potential bridge in other promotions. Bro, I would, if I was a wrestler, swear to God, never disparage some other place, like straight up trash them, because it is not the wisest thing to do. You know, like these promoters hold power over you. I know Javon was clowning Tony Khan a while ago. That was funny though. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny. Like me, I could call Tony a crackhead. I could call Triple H Big Nose, Triple Hell, Hitler Helmsley, make an edit of him with the freaking the Nazi salute song. But these wrestlers cannot do that. You know? Was out of pocket my bed. Settle down, bro. You watching the finals? Yeah, when it happens. But yeah, I remember Nikita line, bro. A package in the back. Like let's talk about this for a moment. Bro. Those random rap pages would poster, you know, because something was jiggling in the back like this, right? And the rap pages, I'm gonna watch WWE now. It's like, bro, you didn't decide to watch WWE last week, last year. Why now, huh? Because of the junk in the trunk, huh? But it's hilarious. MJF is doing the smart thing currently. He openly talks about WWE, but does not talk bad about them. He praises them constantly. You gotta be wise. If you talk about your... Listen, I think MJF is one of the only people that can trash WWE, you know? Because he brings value. But with other wrestlers, especially if you're a mid-carder, you can't. Like I said, we could make fun of Triple H. You and me. We could trash Triple H and say some out-of-pocket stuff. Tony Khan as well. These wrestlers can't. And that's the thing. Until there's a fan-owned promotion, which there'll never be, because this is America and things are different here, this is how it's going to be. One thing I like about football or soccer, there's fan-owned clubs. You know, there's certain things that they can't do because the people that own the club, as in the fans and a collective of people, can object to it. You can't do that in wrestling. Is MJF the same guy that had an AEW tattoo at one point? Was that just a bit? I thought that was a joke. You gotta be wise. You guys remember when Cody was throwing shots at WWE? He got lucky because he had enough talent to be signed to a legitimate deal. Because he was like the first real guy to jump ship. Heard about Curtis Axel? Yeah, I saw that. Apparently called the police a slur or something. But yeah, that image is sad. I saw like, damn. He really knows he's cooked. Yeah, the drunk driving stuff is nonsense. Just want to say that. What do you mean by that? It's like, bro, just call someone. But yeah, I'm gonna get hammered. I'm gonna drink a lot and go home. Driving and potentially crash my car into some random guy. You know? They're defunct pay-per-views. Vengeance 03. I like Vengeance 06. Decent. What else? Extreme Rules 09. I might do a video on that this week, to be honest with you guys. We got a good video coming today. I genuinely think if MJF ever leaves and goes to WWE, he'll be the biggest signing in today's era. Yeah, and all the people that trash him outside are gonna praise him. Oh my god, he's so good! Why didn't you say that last week, huh? Is it because he's under your 3 favorite initials now, huh? Is that what it is? You think Ted DiBiase can make a comeback or he's done? Nah, he's done. I don't even think he's fit enough to come back. He's got to work out like crazy for months on end. Or potentially get on some roids or something. And on top of that, he has to find charisma, which he has never had. You know? It's like, how are you going to find charisma if you never had it? Look at Ricochet. He's doing decently in AEW, but charisma isn't his strong suit. Isn't Axel a producer still or he's out? I'm not sure. I think he is. I feel like that Ludwig stuff was blown out of proportion for clicks, but didn't fully read into the case. Rumor has it was. They try to make him a good hero for storyline purposes. Ice. I'm gonna call Ice on that girl. I think he called her the other word, but yeah. Which defunct pay-per-view would you bring back in WWE? Cyber Sunday would be hilarious if they bring it back. Yeah, but bro, the options are... This is how it goes. Steel cage match, normal match, Hell in a Cell match. I wonder which they're gonna choose. Or this one. Look. Look at this one. Look. For example, which legend to come back? Coco Beware, Dean Douglas, although I wouldn't consider him a WWE legend, or Stone Cold. I wonder who they're gonna choose. Ooh, for what? Ted Jr. looks old as hell too, and he's barely older than Cody. Ted beat the Case DiBiase. He might have gotten lucky. Him and Brett Favre, bro, I think they got lucky. Yeah, that's core for you. You know, you gotta beat the case. It's all about disproving the case against you, and that's it. Probably had David Otunga as his lawyer. Oh, way, oh. Oh, way, oh. Yeah, I'm just good off of Ted DiBiase, Richard. It's like, who cares? I'm just like not moved by this like fake nostalgia. Like I saw Enzo and Cass are coming back. Enzo's gonna be charismatic as hell, of course, but I'm not moved on it from a normal like view. I'm not really moved by it. What did Ludwig do? I didn't read the whole story. So to put it simply, apparently he was kissing his girl in the elevator, right? And he got into a fight with this guy. The context, and remember, this is something that's not official. The context is that he, what's it called? He was told by this guy, public decency, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, you better stop, something along the lines of this. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You better stop doing that before I call ICE on that. That's what it is. I never cared about Enzo and Cass. I did, but that was 10 years ago. That was like freaking... Yeah, that's a long ass time ago, bro. If Favre and Ted Jr. were a few shades darker, wallahi, they're doing the time. Yeah, bro. Bro. Not even if they were shades darker. If they changed their religion, bro. You're going to the slammer, buddy. Who's the biggest what if in WWE? I don't know. Top Crimson masks of all time. Bro, we gotta pull out Eddie 04. Easily. Eddie 04, that's the one. Yeah, I'm priceless. Do you think the career killer gimmick is ruining Gunther? I think it stopped a lot of his momentum. Yeah. This is the thing, bro. They forced it too much. He has to retire AJ Styles. He has to retire John Cena. Okay. But then they wanted him to retire Rey Mysterio, bro. Rey's still wrestling. He doesn't want to let go. And on top of that, they probably wanted to bring in Jericho to have him retire to Gunther, which is nonsense. He doesn't need to do that. He could just be like the new Legend Killer or whatever. Although that might be a bit forced. They just half-assed the gimmick, bro. They're too scared, bro. They're cowards. I think if Gunther was the one to retire John Cena, he should have faced Cody at WrestleMania. But of course, they're too scared to do stuff because it's new and foreign. You know, they're just scared. Cowards, bro. I'm telling you. They're always nostalgia baiting, doing nonsense. Compare Legend Killer and Career Killer. Well, for one, Randy didn't end people's careers. You know? Undertaker probably seen the arrest, told him to put the ICE story out as it would be good business. Yeah, that's a wonderful business, bro. Look at him now, bro. He's like a celebrity in Mexico by the looks of it. Bro, he's up there with Mystico. They double owned on the Legend Killer back in the day. I think it needs to be Cody. Give him some credibility back. He has to. I think it's very important for him to be Cody for Cody's sake and his sake. Oh my God, Undertaker King. Hold on. I gotta charge this. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, guys. All right. I hate that now it's every legend he needs to retire. Really should have been just Goldberg and maybe Cena. That's it. Yeah, bro. I want to retire. Like, sit down, bro. We don't need to do this. It's all good. Damn, that's too bright. To be fair, Gunther did get unlucky for the WrestleMania event since Rey was injured. I still believe Rey was dodging the Gunther match. He probably was, bro. He came back for WrestleMania. He's all good now, magically. But Rey is a crazy anomaly. Like, I've never seen anything like that guy. He's still wrestling even though he was around for like 33 years. No, he was like around 37 years. LED light setup would be sick. It would, but it would be hot as hell in here. I'm good off that. Like, bro, I can't even work well because this damn room, the AC sucks in here. And number two, it's too warm. It's too distracting, bro. Like, I sit like, I gotta put on a timer to edit just to get it over with, bro. I don't like it. Very annoying. Well, such is life. We always deal with inconveniences here. WWE is so stagnant because of nothing of no heaven outside of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Jay's the only world champion that lost the title outside of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Yeah, bro. And on top of that, why is he cooking for Roman Reigns now? Like, he's on it like this, bouncing. You're supposed to be an enemy of Roman. He didn't apologize to you. Ray wants Dom to retire him. Yeah, that makes sense. Deadbeat dads really do be wilding, says. Yes. What's up, WP? Who do you have winning both matches between Cody and Gunther and Roman and Jacob in Tribal Combat Clash in Italy? Roman's gonna win. Jacob's gonna acknowledge him or something. The thing is, luchadors wrestle into their 70s. That's why they wear masks a lot. Yeah. Bro, they still be wrestling and you can see him double. I always prefer Eddie Guerrero's heel theme versus face theme. Yes. Bruh, tell me. Bro, tell me this song isn't banging. Bro, this sounds like... Bro. It wouldn't be out of place if a Mexican was listening to this on from freaking, like, Impala or something. Listen to this. I like this song. We might have to watch the Titantron for obvious reasons. You guys know the Titantron was just beating up Rey Mysterio. Let's watch it. They're gonna copyright us probably, but I'm not gonna say who gives a damn, but we'll take the risk. Let me read the chat quickly. You would have never known Jey Uso is a Royal Rumble winner or former world champion. Yeah, bro. It's just stupid. I don't understand why his character, which was so deep. Like, listen. In ring, I could care less about Jey Uso. Legitimately. I don't give a damn about him in ring. But as a character, he was very multi-layered and he had actual good stuff. Look at him now. Hold on. Bro just abused Ray. Let's see it. Now it's about time. Is this it? No, this is not the one. This one. Look at this Titantron. He was just beating up on him. Look at this. Look at this. Play. Look. He's destroying him the whole time. Look, I love how this is just him beating. Yeah, that's just what it is. All right, we might have to go into the YouTube stuff again. They might copyright us, but just give us a moment. Now it's about time to step. Another funny Titantron's Dolph Ziggler, the one with Santa. Yeah, that one's hilarious. He's like, Dolph Ziggler. You know? Now it's about time to step into there. Bro, we got AI. Why are they copying my video? This is my video. Guys, look at this. This is my video. People are copying me now. This is literally my video. Look, WWE logo. Bruh, this is my video. All right, it's originally in Arabic. Let's hear this. Yeah, I don't understand the dialect of Arabic. Bro, why are you taking my video? Bro, he literally took my video, bro. Your writing is excellent. This is my video. Your writing, it's my video. Your writing is excellent. This video's not even that good. You're the best one to have narrated. This is my video. انت عندك بحق. You have a right to what? These are my pictures, bro. I remember I'm making this video and Pop Smoke got killed. The hell? Bruh. Bro, YouTube's crazy now. Bro, this is literally my video. And it's not even like... And they're glazing him in the comments. Oh my god. Is there another one? Bro. Oh my god. Bro just found his reason to turn heel. Bro. That's it. I'm making my own Arabic channel. Problem is I can't even speak the language because it's a different dialect. Bro. This Bloodline reunion is stupid after everything Roman did, and they're kind of trying to make Roman lead more face. I don't know, it makes no sense. They don't. That's the thing about it, bro. I'm gonna tell you this right now. At the end of the day, Roman did not go through progress to turn face. They just do nonsense. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. Blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, we've been through that in 2020. Bro, 2020, 6 years ago. That was when, like, freaking The Baby and, what's his name? Roddy Ricch were relevant. That's when Roman turned heel and did all this stuff. Why are we doing it now? Like, it should be evolving past that. The solo feud literally showed that Roman has the same characteristics of his Tribal Chief run. Yes, he's not changed, just a face, but it's like, he needs to do more at this point. You're the top guy. The Usos just had a lobotomy or something recently to make him be his lapdogs. I don't know what it is, bro. They're like getting pegged or something. I don't know. Bruh. Challenging, just go back. But like, what's weird is that this is the only video that he did this with. I don't know how much of it he took. I can't really tell you, to be honest. Let's see. I don't even care, to be honest. You're not getting the same views as me. I don't care. Legitimately. I don't care. It's just, why don't you make a review of Double or Nothing? It was one of the best AEW pay-per-views of the year so far. Because by the time I made it, it was late. And I'm going to tell you this. Listen. When it comes to YouTube and pay-per-view reviews, if I don't upload it the same day, it doesn't do as well. Backlash, that video didn't do well. My Extreme Rules video did way better. Which is supposed to be the opposite. That's how it works. But let me show you guys my video for today. Ooh, Papa Ute, Ute, Papa Ute. Alright, the audio's good enough. What's your favorite Elimination Chamber match? Probably the Goldberg one. I might be a hot take, but I don't give a damn. The Goldberg one's one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, this is the video for today. By the way, it's done. Seth Rollins, Monday Night Rounds. Yes, that's the video. Yeah, I could do a classic Raw episode, yeah. But yeah, today's video is a Seth Rollins Monday Night Rounds run from February 18 to December 19. I enjoyed making it. I thought Seth Rollins, you know, he messed up a lot when he became the world champion. And to put it simply, I think it was more on WWE. I don't think Seth Rollins was equipped to be like this #1 guy. But at the same time, the thing that brought him to the dance, which was those crazy matches, weren't shown at all during the title reign. You know? Plus, the algorithm would smack that video to the ground if it's AEW related. Yeah, but my advantage is if I upload early. Plus, it's kind of easy to like be on top of the AEW YouTube scene, but I don't really care for it as much because it's like I don't really want to do that. It's easier, I'd say. Like, bro, just go glaze AEW for 10 minutes, edit the video, and you'll probably get views. Because there's not a lot of YouTubers that talk about All Elite Wrestling. You know, a lot of the people that tend to talk about AEW on YouTube, they just talk about it in passing. Somehow the thing I always remember is the Fiend incident in the tweets at Ospreay. Yes. Bro, I don't know why he talked. Listen, I don't really care about the Ospreay stuff, but it's like, you're the top face of the company. People are going to be like, why are you saying that? I think it's silly. You know, it's like, I have more money in my bank. It's like rappers. You know how rappers do that stuff? Even though they're owned by their own label and they're getting like 2% of the money that they earn. But my issue with Seth Rollins at the time, it felt like the hate was getting to him. You know what I mean? It's like, I have to prove I'm not like that. And it's like his performances in the ring should do the work for him. Phil Cup was the worst. I haven't seen him in a while, bro. I remember him like back in 21. You know, JD from New York. I don't know him on a personal basis, but I know his channel, yeah. Tell me why Triple H is incapable of being a good booker. That is the big issue with Triple H. You know? I'm so glad Konosuke Takeshita is out of the Don Callis family, plus Takeshita and Okada was a banger. Seth is weird because I don't know if he was ever the true #1 guy. Even in 2019, you can argue Becky was pushed more than him. I would give it to 19, but that's just on the male side. Overall, it kind of was Becky Lynch. Seth just had a big chip on his shoulder. He always does, it seems. Yeah, and that's the thing about him. Like, one thing that I did learn from that video while making it is that Rollins, he always wants appreciation. He always wants acceptance, I'd say. You know? And even in the storylines, they implemented that in the story when he turned heel. But one thing I noticed is that he always wants to be acknowledged. You know, and when he's not, it's like he feels a bit sad. And again, I don't think the run was entirely his fault, but there's some things that didn't help him, you know? I love the Brock match at SummerSlam 2018 as well, but one thing I noticed is like, if the pressure gets to him, he's gonna show it. I don't know if he's like that nowadays, but that's what he was back then, because the value of being the number one guy in the WWE is incredible. And obviously, to some people, it's gonna get to them. You know what I mean? It is very valuable. Like, if I give you the top guy position in the WWE now, say you're 2019 rounds, some of you would either buckle under pressure or you'll make it known like he did in the run. You know, he's talking a lot, he's defending the promotion, all that stuff. Seth's whole character arc since the Cody feud has followed that line. He always hates anyone that challenges his position in the company in kayfabe and maybe outside of it. Probably. But yeah, I didn't hate him during that run. It's just his character was boring and whiny and unlikable. You know? Like, you could say whatever you want about him outside of the ring, but things weren't helping his case. Do we actually get Roma versus Oba at SummerSlam? It feels like more like Oba versus Brock goes to SummerSlam. Bro, they're gonna drag that match to like WrestleMania 45 probably. Have you heard the Seth Cybertruck story? Yeah, that made me laugh a lot. Like, bro, you don't need to be offended. Listen. Do not make it known you're offended in life. You might be offended over certain things, like if someone curses your mom or something. Like, yeah, but I just feel like some things that don't need to be mentioned, and that's one of them. Seth needs to just come out and say, acknowledge me. Well, that's ironic. Acknowledge me kind of fits him way more than it does Roman Reigns. Like, honestly, like 2019 Rollins, if he came out with the acknowledge me shirt, it would make so much sense. But even in Roman's case, it makes sense. It's just, they went to that well one too many times. It's like 2020 was 6 years ago. You don't see us listening to the baby Roddy Ricch now, constantly. Still, it's like they gotta go back to it. Oh, bloodline this. Like, they're gonna bring back Rikishi soon to extend the bloodline story. In-ring Seth is cool right now, but I'm telling you, he's gonna tear a quad or something at this rate. Yeah, bro, he's a hard worker. And that's, again, making this video. I saw something about him. I'm like, this guy always wants to be acknowledged for his performances. He goes above and beyond. Like, I notice this a lot in the videos. He goes 200%. And that's one thing I do appreciate about him, is that in ring, he doesn't phone it in. He doesn't like, oh, it's just another night. No, he goes in, puts in all the work. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes it is. I think Becky overshadowing Seth is a real insecurity. It's probably why it gets brought up so often in his promos as a dig. I don't know. There's some things backstage we're not privy to. But at the end of the day, if your spouse is more successful than you, you gotta accept it. Me personally, I'd have to accept it. Which Triple H versus Brock Lesnar match is your favorite? WrestleMania 29, SummerSlam 2012, or Extreme Rules 2013? WrestleMania, because that's the only one I actually watched. There's no way for them to evolve Roman's character past this point that would make him any better is in this thing. I mean, look at the rest of Roman's run. What other stories does he have? First of all, he has to apologize to Jey Uso. I feel like a redemption story would have worked better, which will allow him to transition slowly. Because it doesn't just need to be tribal stuff, you know? Like, imagine this, bro. Imagine me coming out, right? Me doing a storyline, right? Tribal stuff with my country, right? Oh, I'm from this city and I fight these people. Imagine I fight these people for 6 years over where they're from or some stupid family drama. You'd be fed up. Like, imagine I'm repping my city in Morocco, bro, every week. You would be fed up by it. What I'm trying to say is, the bloodline should be a thing of the past. Roman Reigns will always be the tribal chief, all that stuff. But I feel like it needs to move to a point where it's like, now we're in the WWE as opposed to the Samoan wrestling entertainment world. You know what I mean? Prime Roddy Ricch was crazy though, WP. Yeah. Got 25,000 on me when I'm riding, but not on this on me. And I'm a fine. Bloodline story won't reach the peaks it did again. Just feels like a forced repeat. It does. They're just doing that because they don't want to be creative. You know, it's as simple as that. He's got the Seth match and maybe Cody trilogy, but that's it aside from them building something new from the ground up, which they never will. Yes. Miss your heaps, bro. Shout out to you. It's very tough because, like, with TKO, like, Roman makes a lot of money, but it's like, you gotta move past that. Tribal combat. Nah, it'll be a good match, though, you know? It'll be a good one. Deep in the night. We'll see how that pay-per-view goes. I hope it's good. You know, Italy will go crazy. Is it in like Torino or something? The Juventus city? I got into an idea. Let's insert Michael Cole into the bloodline. WWE Bloodline. Yeah, surely nothing goes wrong. JBL having those back-to-back bloodbaths at Judgment Day 04 and 05 is insane. It is, bro. Like, that guy, there was some moments he could work, but a lot of times he wasn't that inspiring. But when JBL was on, he was like a classic territory wrestler. Aggression, intensity, great heel work, stuff like that. There was a time in 2023 where I felt like only Bloodline members cared about the WWE Championship and nobody else on the roster. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that era where like Riddle was without Randy Orton, and the era where Cody was just like spinning around. He was busy with Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I thought the Jey Uso face turn was great. I watched it the other day again just to like see what I thought about it, and it was so good. You're out. He's like, he kicks out Jimmy Uso. Then he's like, I'm out too, and then he kicks Roman, who dies. Saw some comment that said Seth Rollins was cosplaying as a great wrestler. What the F does that even mean? I just think a lot of people don't like him on a personal level, which is, it's like, bro, you can't let it affect your interest in him. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. Wrestling on Twitter, they hear something, they jump in every time. You tell them tomorrow that Seth Rollins is the best ever, one of their favorite accounts, they're going to jump in and say it as well. I know what you're talking about. They say cosplays is a great wrestler. Like, I know Seth Rollins has his shortcomings in ring at times, but I feel like they're doing too much, you know? People don't want to have combos. They're like, oh, I like this guy. Why? Well, same reason as that guy said. Like, get out of here. No one else guns for the titles anymore, which is sad, yes. I remember there's this moment during the Cena heel run where him and Randy, Cody, and Knight were all saying they want the championship. Makes sense? Guess which one of them he wrestled at this moment? Just Cody. That's the thing, bro. Listen, the issue with WWE right now is they drag the stories out, and because of that, other people don't get opportunities. For example, if Cena turned heel in 2018, I know 2018 is a horrible year. I don't want to go back to it for WWE. I enjoyed that summer. Not because of WWE. But back then, Cena would have faced LA Knight, he would have faced Jey Uso, he would have faced Randy Orton, and he would have faced Cody in that run. For sure. Even if it was a 5-month run. Nowadays, though, you know what they'll do? They're going to drag the Cody story. In the middle of it, they'll do some nonsense like R-Truth or something. Thoughts on Corbin maybe coming back? I know it's more creative, but Corbin from 2018 and 2020 played a big part of me tuning out, and I have no desire in seeing him back. First of all, he's much better now, but that doesn't mean I'm very interested in him. I've never really been interested in Corbin since he was in NXT. The NXT days, I liked him way more than I did ever since he came on the main roster. I think he'll just be an additional body on the show. I'm not going to be moved by him and act like I am, you know? Oh, this and that. Like, I'm not moved by him. We'll get a video on Double or Nothing. Fortunately, the time has passed, but I did watch it. If you want me to give a quick opinion on it, I will. Okada and Tanahashi. Okada and Takeshita was a wonderful battle. Cope and Christian, great battle. And I thought it was a great AEW show overall, but I don't think it's like all time. I thought I was missing something tiny. Swerve and Bandito, Ospreay and Joe. Ospreay and Joe was like a quick match. It was like 13 minutes or something, but I really enjoyed it. You know how in the territory days they would use their pay-per-views and TV matches to build for house shows right now? It feels like they're doing the opposite and just building for the PLE without caring about TV. Yeah, the TV is supposed to get you there. And this is why eventually, like the deals, they're probably going to dry up. I don't know if they will, but they got to have good TV shows in order to get better deals in the future. That's what I think. They just don't care. Nowadays, bro, they don't care about the TV shows. Like, you miss 3 TV shows in a row. Are you going to miss something crazy? No, you're not. You're going to miss Slim Jim ads. In LA Knight teasing a main event run, which he'll never do. What'd you think of the Stadium Stampede match? Bruh, I've never seen a match have so many different elements and moments in my life, probably. What I did like about that match is how fast Kenny Omega moved. I haven't seen Omega move that fast since like 2021, bro. He moved so crazy at one point in that match. But it was fun, you know? It's a bit random seeing Bobby Lashley hit a super kick during it. We saw Leo Rush was like doing that Diddy gimmick or something. But I thought it was fun. It was a trashy match, but a fun one. I don't know, man. I feel like it's the early Ruthless Aggression PG era issue where they could afford to coast along because they got the money coming for the most part. That's the thing about it. They have the money at this point, so they could coast. But it's a very risky approach because what if the next TV deal is less than the sum they had for the previous one? Because you guys remember when they went on Fox? By the end of that deal, Fox wasn't really happy with WWE. They're like, they didn't meet our goals or this and that. I feel like the LA Knight World title run passed him. Not his fault. WWE should have pulled the trigger at Money in the Bank in 2023 with a few month title reign. You'll see. It'll be reignited again in a couple of months when Money in the Bank happens. Thoughts on Leo Rush? I don't understand his gimmick, but it's working, bro. Like, I saw him with a bunch of fans and some kids, and they're doing it as well. I thought it was hilarious. But Leo Rush in ring is a great performer. Just want to say that right now. Leo Rush is a great performer. I like him as a cruiserweight in WWE. But if this is a thing that sets him over to do something more, then we'll appreciate it. Funniest part of Stadium Stampede is seeing Old Man Jericho during a Hurricane in a full suit. Yeah. Bro, he was wrestling with that suit. Bro, they were all wrestling with suits. You're talking about the SmackDown Fox era, right? Yeah. I was there live. It was so hard to focus on everything in the Stadium Stampede match, but I love that. Yeah, bro. It was insane. Remember when Jack Perry drove that big-ass delivery truck? Didn't they blame one wrestler like Kofi or something for flopping? I can't remember. I don't know if they blamed a single wrestler, but that debut show was botched. It was so botched. Like, the best match on that show is probably the Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon ladder match. And then by the end of it, it's like, why are we watching this nonsense? Are you ready for a good time? And it's like, bro, what is this? This is not a good time. Get out of here. Didn't Leo Rush no sell a table spot once. Win. Are you ready for a good time? And then Brock Lesnar, who's supposed to be on the show, moves to Raw. The match was so fun. The 7-man abdominal stretch was so simple but funny. What about the super kick? What about the... Bruh, there was so many spots in there. And by the way, I was making a Double or Nothing video. I have a bunch of screenshots as proof over here. Like I'm gonna show you here. Boom. Here's another one. Like I was literally like looking to make it, but then something happened. Here we got a lot of pictures here. See, Shida when she used the kendo stick. Yeah, we got a lot of. I was making it. They think they're low key with the suits, bruh. I thought about it the other day. I was like, only match I kind of tuned out in Double or Nothing was the women's 4-way match. The Mox and O'Reilly match, I didn't like it as much. I thought it was missing something. Hard to care for it. Bro, we all knew that Tekla was going to retain. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Low key, him, Austin Aries, Davey Richards, they should be in AEW, but there's always something in the way of some drama. Like, those are the wrestlers you'd imagine in AEW, because Tony Khan dies for, like, ROH. You know, he dies for it. And, like, all three of those guys were doing well in ROH, TNA, Japan. It's crazy, you know? I remember Leo Rush sold the top rope powerbomb from a table on his last indie show pre-WWE. I don't remember that. 2019 was such a bad year for WWE. It just might be the worst. They don't even have the COVID excuse like 2020. I hate 18 more. But, like, SmackDown sucked. You guys remember when King Corbin and Roman were feuding all the time? I hated it. It was just, like, so stupid. Why are we doing this? And the dog food, stuff, it's so nonsense. And when it came down to it, when you look at 2019 WWE, it's like, were they booking this stuff in some, like, kind of laboratory to experiment or something? Like, what's going on? And that's what it was. It was just odd. I remember at the time, everyone was like, oh, AEW's coming up. And, like, AEW was new at the time, was fresh. And so, like, obviously people were going to give it more of a chance. Seeing Lashley hit a super kick did feel like something we should have never seen, though. Yeah. And that match had so much, bro. Like, there were so many spots. The spots in the back, you know, setting them, seeing freaking Jack Perry with the... so much. At least it wasn't Roman and Shane. If I remember, Luchasaurus randomly showed up. It was crazy stuff. Then Jericho won in the end. Bro, he really thinks he's some esteemed music artist. He calls himself Jericho now. He's funny, bro. Seth Rollins turned 40 today. Or yesterday? I think today. What's it called? This is why I never take the bring Vince back crowd seriously. Bro, they just talk nonsense, bro. That's the thing about them. Blah, blah, blah. Vince. It's like, bro, we know you like these stupid storylines, but they're not good. And he's old. Bro. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Listen. Think about this for a moment. In sports, every sport, once a coach goes awry, goes bad, they shouldn't be brought back. Vince is like Doc Rivers. Why would you bring him back? He's not going to achieve you success. You know what? You're right. 2017 post-WrestleMania up until 2020, until Roman became the tribal chief, really sucked. Yeah, post-WrestleMania. And a big part of it is because of their persistence in pushing Roman Reigns as this guy. Like, sit down. Did they actually remove the Chris part of Jericho's name for real? LOL. Bro, I was watching Dynamo yesterday and they didn't call him Chris Jericho. Excalibur was like, and Jericho with the win. I think the commentator called him I think the announcer called him Jericho. What up, Sammy? Welcome back. Welcome back. Like I said, it's always Vince. It's like, do you know why he's outed, first of all? Dummy. Like, bro, it's like, people don't understand that there's consequences for stuff. Is that a bomb? Nah. But like I said, people don't understand there's consequences for actions, number one. And number two, on top of that, he is washed. That's it. Even if he didn't have these allegations and stuff, he's washed. Why would you want him back? Triple H is just boring. I think it's terrible, straight up. At least it ain't them calling Edge just cope. Yeah, that one doesn't make sense. What about the other Vince Russo? Bro, that guy's old. Like, he's a product of his time. One thing he did was value every member of the roster, but bro, he can't just do things alone. I'm telling you, bro, this is a good story and a swerve. Like, bro, if Vince Russo was booking this live stream, I'd be jumping up and down, wearing a different shirt, cursing you guys out. Like, this is a work shoot that Vince Russo would have me do. You guys don't watch my videos. You guys don't give a damn about me. He'd have me turn on you guys and then admit that I'm freaking addicted to drugs at the end of the promo. That's literally what it'd be. Sit down. What are the odds we let Heyman take the book again? I don't know, but I'm good off him. I have go away heat with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, he acts all high and mighty for his... he acts too high and mighty. You're like, what do you mean by that? He's had success in the past, but in the last 5 years, I could care less about him. You know, I don't care. Paul Heyman. He was a name. I don't really care about him now. When he comes out with Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, I could care less. His promos haven't been good in like years. Vince Russo said he created The Rock. Yeah, okay. That's the thing about Vince Russo, bro. He took credit for everything. Bro, when I told him to hijack the planes, bro, he'd be talking some nonsense like that. Like, that's how he speaks. He doesn't... I don't know. Do wrestlers naturally lie or something? Like Hulk Hogan, he's like, I was gonna join Metallica, brother. I was gonna call myself Hollywood Hogan at WrestleMania 6, bro. Now that I think about it, isn't Logan Paul and Austin Theory technically Paul Heyman guys? Yeah, the Paul Heyman guy name is cursed at this point. You might as well call yourself a wrestling premier guy. I'm serious. And look at this. They're gonna make it seem like some value, like, right? Like in 3 years when Austin Theory's doing some whatever stuff in Evolve and Logan Paul's world champion, they're still gonna make the Paul Heyman thing seem like a valuable thing. Even though Logan Paul, if he does become a world champion, it's not because of Paul Heyman. Like a Paul Heyman guy used to mean something in 1992, bro. You know, back in the day. Now it doesn't. Like, if you were wrestling in War Games 92 with Paul Heyman as your manager, you would mean something. Nowadays, who cares? It's like, whatever. Bro's Rafael Benitez of wrestling, bro. How the hell did Logan Paul overshadow Austin Theory in a faction? Cause Logan Paul understands you gotta bring intensity and aggression. Like, recently Logan Paul in his promos, he's starting to sound better. I'm not moved by his promos, but he brings a lot of like anger and pro wrestling stuff to it. You know, it's like, what is wrong with you? He's a good manager, but creative-wise on good. And you're right, he's always been known as a good promo, but even those aren't that good anymore. Yeah, I don't really care about him now. That's the thing. It's just like he had his time. Paul Heyman pre 2023, okay. But nowadays, anytime I see him on the mic, swear to God, wallahi, I don't care. I'm not even lying to you. I don't understand how someone that valuable has go away heat with me, but he does. Like, this guy's a legend in the industry. He was the ultimate scammer, allegedly, in my opinion, in ECW, right? Great manager in WCW. Early WWF days. He elevates a storyline just with a single promo. Now, I don't care about him. He hypes up Austin Theory as if he's the next big thing. He hypes up freaking all these guys. I could care less. What are some botches that elevated matches you could think of? I can't really think right now. I'm very low IQ at the moment. Man, I think Theory just has to leave the company and go on a Drew Cody run. That guy just isn't getting the chance to show himself, so he got to go to the Indies or something to prove himself. But the problem is, you place someone that position that Austin Theory's in, they would prove themselves more. I think the best case for him is stuff like TNA or something. Just do something else. Don Callis is my least favorite thing ever. Well, at least with Don Callis, he kind of makes me laugh at times. But with Paul Heyman, he doesn't make me laugh at the moment. You know? Is that a Paul Heyman issue or a booking wrestler problem, though, to be fair? I don't know. I think it's both. Paul Heyman fell off with the Vision. Yeah. The Vision. Hell. This is like the Core, bro. It's almost going as well as the Core. I've had enough. I don't know how Tommy Dreamer was the only dude trying to kill Heyman. He's the only one, bro. Sabu, Sandman, Mike Awesome, these guys all should have jumped. Like, if you're looking at it from a logical standpoint, you know? Like, none of these guys... Bro, even Vince almost got beaten up by Nels at one point. Like, she got beaten up. But you get the point. Heyman's last great moment was when Solo slammed him through the table after he refused to acknowledge him as a tribal chief. It is what it is. He's one of the greatest managers in wrestling history. You know? We're not denying that at all. You know, I'm not one of those freaking reactionary people. This guy sucks! I've come to this opinion after 3 years. Come on, the moment Heyman had at WrestlePalooza was better than the Cena Brock match. Which one? I don't even remember. Listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys. Any pay-per-view I review that's not WrestleMania, I don't remember anything from it. So if you're talking about some moment there, I actually don't remember it. Like, I go back to some videos of mine, I don't even remember some of the stuff that was going on. Like, Braun Strowman was in that WWE Championship match with Lashley and Drew McIntyre. I don't even remember this. Stuff like that. Well, like I was saying, Heyman had a great run. The Tommy Dreamer thing is funny, you know? Not the thought, but like the thought that he's the only guy that came to a point where it's like, I hate this guy. And to be fair, it's better to forget some of the PLEs last year. I don't remember them. Apparently, John Cena teamed up with LA Knight at some point. I don't even remember this. What else? Yeah, I could bet Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura feuded. I barely remember that. I don't even remember a lot of stuff. Like, just the other day, I read up Jericho lost to Bandito. And I actually watched this pay-per-view, but I barely remember it. I don't know why. Things move too fast recently. Such is life. That was Fastlane 23, I think, yeah. You barely... Remember when John Cena lost to Solo Sikoa? Like, bro, what are they thinking, bro? Solo. Like, I think Solo could be like a mid-card guy, but him beating John Cena, bro, I might as well beat him. Tommy Dreamer was almost Benoit before Benoit. I remember when Heyman talked about stealing Becky from Seth in a WrestleMania build. Wasn't even a one moment because Kyle and Paul, look at you be for real. Yeah, bro. I think at some point being a wrestling fan, you just kind of blend some of the stuff together now. Yeah. It's like, oh, this match is a classic, but the next week I barely remember it. It happens. There's some matches you do remember, though. Every once in a while. You know, like Tony Storm, Mariah May. We remember that. We definitely remember that. 200%. We remember Cody and Roman. WrestleMania, obviously. Especially because we haven't seen anything memorable aside from WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Yes. But that's life, you know? Things happen. What else is going on? Like 17, 18, 19 blends together for me. Yeah. Solo pinned Roman and Jacob as well, but I think Solo will win the world title one day. Do you actually think that? The thing is, listen, I enjoyed Solo's match with Gunther, but since then I haven't been moved by him. I do think he's in a bad position because he like has to do this like Samoan like stuff. Solo might actually win a world title at some point. That scares me. Hey, if it's a ROI thing, then I could see it. Remember Liv Morgan winning the Money in the Bank of the women's title? Yeah, I barely remember that. I saw a clip of it today. That actually happened. Remember Austin Theory with Money in the Bank? Bruh, I remember, bruh. Tell me why. I was in Barcelona, right? And I had to do the Money in the Bank review. I stayed up until 5 a.m. to watch Austin Theory get added to a match he wasn't even in. A-Town down, screaming out loud. I forgot Liv Morgan exists, bro. She's gone post WrestleMania. I agree. And that's a big issue they have. It's like they don't want to ride the momentum. They just don't. You listen. If you want to have a good title reign in the WWE, you gotta have a mid-card run. If you're a main eventer, you might as well say adios, bro. Goodbye. You are not getting a good run. It's crazy. Austin 3 Cashy was such a hell yeah, bro. They cucked him. The thing that Money in the Bank thing with Austin Theory was fun from a character point. Your daddy's not around. Remember when Eddie did the shimmy while he was covered in blood? That crowd was going insane. Bro, I love that match. I'm gonna watch it again. JBL, you Mexicans. And then Eddie comes out, gets a beating. Bloody and a half. But even then, he has the LA crowd believing. He's like doing this. JBL's like, oh, please don't beat me up. I'm rich. Whatever. He beats him up for America, for Mexicans. Whoops his ass. The DQ, if I remember correctly, it was so good, man. One of my favorite matches of the 2000s. Easily. Post Cena feud Theory's character got nuked. Agreed. The thing is, even then, John Cena didn't believe in him. Like, John Cena, you know how he acts like a company guy and all that? Well, in that moment, he decided, I'm gonna try to bury this guy. And Austin Theory couldn't swim. It's just life. Sometimes you have opportunities, you might make the most out of them, and others, you're cooked. Well, not even others. For most of the for most scenarios, you're cooked. Like, how many guys are gonna survive that burial? But then again, if John Cena actually believed in said person, he would not even try to do that kind of promo. For some reason, I could see Solo having a world title reign like JBL, but not nearly as long. God help us all, bro. God help us all. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. We bring the war. Cena bearing Theory is the dumbest stuff ever. I get the sentiment. Come on, John. But at the same time, let's do a lawyer thing, you know, the devil's advocate. Let's look at it from this position. Austin Theory was as talented as they claimed. In the fact that they had him face John Cena. Remember that. John Cena WrestleMania. Why didn't he survive the booking onslaught afterwards? When you look at it from the opposing view, you know, I'm not saying straight up, oh, this and that, but look at it from the opposing view. If he's as good as they say, to have him beat John Cena at WrestleMania, why hasn't he shown any spark since then? The best thing about him is his theme song. I'm taking back what's mine. If I hear Soul's theme on the main event of any show, I'm going to sleep. What about on WWE main event? What's up, Premier? Just saying hi. I haven't watched WWE since WrestleMania. I'm only watching again once Randy Orton comes back. I have to wait a couple of months by the looks of it. Isaiah the player. Well, yeah, that's life. I've said that far too many times, bro. I think we've said that too many times. It's gonna become my quote by accident. He wasn't good enough to even beat Cena at WrestleMania. Yeah, I feel like Theory wasn't even that talented. He looks good, sure, but that's it. In what realm in hell does someone needs to cheat to beat post 2023 Cena? I'm just like thinking about it. If he's as good as they say, to have him beat John Cena at WrestleMania, shouldn't he show any spark of a main event level? Sparkles and Champagne should have kicked off the Theory main event push. Bro, if my main event push was started by the YouTuber guy, what's his name again? CJ So Cool? I might as well freaking jump off a building. Actually, I wouldn't, because it would mean I get a push. I've been popping bottles, abandoning my kids, married to some woman. That's what he is. Like, if I remember correctly, CJ So Cool abandoned his kids. Is that true, though, for those of you that know? Or who the hell knows CJ So Cool here? Theory's matches against Lashley and Rounds were good, but that's it. Yeah, I thought he was doing something decent, like, after he failed the cash-in. But after that, once he won the title, it's like, whatever. Theory might just be a fraud. Hey, if you want to put that to the test truly, he should go out on the indie circuit and leave the WWE. Like, if we want to see what he's truly capable of, as they say. Because you guys know how people be like, WWE limits people. Well, let's see. There's some moments it's like, oh, maybe something there, but it's like, it's not there at all. You know, it's not. Wins over Cena, Dominic Jack in 2023 Solo. Theory in 2023 Theory and Solo went over. Bro, Solo killed him. That's why I'm saying let the guy bend himself. Bro, Solo killed him, and it's like, he has nothing to show for it. Well, actually, he does. He has a SummerSlam main event. That guy has a SummerSlam main event. Bro. How many wrestlers never main event to SummerSlam, but Solo Sikoa does? It's crazy, bro. It really is crazy how much they tried like doing this Bloodline Civil War stuff to have Solo main event SummerSlam. That match was boring. You guys remember that match? Bro, I think the worst wrestler in SummerSlam history is Solo Sikoa. You guys remember the steel cage match with Jacob Fatu? That match sucks. You guys remember my review of I was trashing the match the whole time? It was so bad. The steel cage match with Jacob. Oh my god, bro. If there was an option to delete that match from history, zero hesitation. Legitimately, zero hesitation. Like, it was the biggest waste of time I've ever seen. Nah, dude, Mabel was worse. Bro, Mabel's in 95, bro. We're big guys, you know, they were limited. At least in the WWF. This guy's supposed to be like, in this version of WWE, supposed to be much more. Bro, he killed Diesel though. Like he cracked his back, and I don't mean that in a pleasant way, by the way. Damn it, Mabel. And bro, at least Soul didn't sit on Cody's back. That was boring with that Soul versus Cody Steel cage match on SmackDown was really fun. Nah, that was better. Solo has had some performances, obviously, but like sometimes they set him up for failure. Like, why is he front and center? He got a singles match in the SummerSlam main event. That's insane. Like, think about it for a moment. Main event. Second biggest show for WWE that entire year. He almost cooked Diesel. Bro, he almost sent him to the hospital. Well, actually, he did send him to the hospital. He almost sent him to the Shadow Realm. Damn it, Mabel. And bro, that summer must have been hell for some random jobbers, bro. They had to lift them up with that throne. Bro, if one of them let go, they're gonna be crushed. Crazy. Cody really got hit in the TKO vortex since his worst role title reign ended, yeah. Bro, even that title reign should have been more than it was. It's like they set him up for failure, bro. I think his title reigns could have been an easy slam dunk. Adrenaline in my soul. Where were we? Oh, yeah. I'm okay with that reign, though. Now, there was some good stuff, you know, AJ Styles, the Kevin Owens stuff. But they wasted too much time with the Bloodline drama. You guys remember the Solo stuff? It's like, bro. And then when John Cena came around, you people. And then the reign ended with that match at WrestleMania, which I watched again a couple of weeks ago to be like, oh, do I hate this as much as I do? Turns out it wasn't good again. You know, it wasn't as good as it should have been. SummerSlam 95 should have been Diesel versus Undertaker, HBK versus Razor, Luger versus Bulldog, Hart versus Triple H. At least how that's I would have booked it. Luger left the following week. What the hell is he doing here? He went to Nitro, bro. That's one of the best debuts ever. Good thing I didn't see Solo versus Jacob then, bro. You'll never find someone that hates that match more than me, and I promise you that. I hated that match. It was so bad. It's like the most pointless steel cage match I've ever seen in my life. Taking it all over the stall. Real bad. This is one. I'm reading. Look at these reviews, guys. Look at this. Look what they gave it on Cage Match, right? That's just them being like positive. Look at this. An absolute waste of time. I had pretty low expectations and this didn't meet that. Solo Sikoa absolutely sucks. He's a talentless Nepo baby just like Jimmy and Jay. This was so lame and predictable. Here's another one. This was easily the worst match of the SummerSlam weekend. Pure as this bloodline. Absolute waste of time. Bro, I'm almost in tears. I'm not even joking. How can you have a steel cage match and not use it to your advantage in creating a good match? Nah, I'm legitimately laughing. Look at my eyes. They're watery. It's just not good. And it's one of those things where it's like, what were they thinking? Don't show Rikishi those reviews. This is what he's gonna do. Look, I don't got my glasses on me. The sun. Oh, there they are. Look. Guys, who am I? The dimmed lights, right? This is what he does. Look. Wait. The lack of appreciation that these people have for my family to tell Solo Sikoa, my son, that he's not good. Have you ever wrestled in the ring? No. Solo should be United States champion. Jimmy should be homeless. Jay should be world champion. Bro, he doesn't even care about Jimmy Uso. Alright, it's over. Party's done. Bro, every time I see him complain about Jay Uso, never Jimmy. Bro, him and Booker T are always on something. Legitimately. It's always him and Booker T. Every time you hear something, it's one of those two. Or Jimmy Vid. I never hear him talk about Jimmy. Legitimately. Maybe he did, but I never see. I always see him talk about Jay. Hey guys, look at this. I found something. Wait. I found a video. Have you ever been to a football match in Europe? Not in Europe, but in Morocco. Maghreb. I went to the Morocco national team. They lost to Gabon. And I went to a PSG and Monaco match. This was Mbappe's last match before he played for Paris Saint-Germain. Good day. But I never went to a match in Europe. Because even Rikishi knows Jimmy ain't gonna get pushed off a cliff, much less to the... Are you subscribed to Cora Jade? She says you're not a real fan if you're not. I'm not subscribed to her. Rikishi would say Jay should have a Roman Reigns like title reign. Remember when Rikishi complained about Jericho not being used properly and then they pushed him and he said they're pushing him too quickly? See, bro. Wait. I gotta find a video. Hold on. Like, he's so funny. Guys, look at this video. Wait up. I guess That's my boy. He's also he's always gonna get pushed. They did, bro. Randy's first world title run. What did they do? Bro, this guy's funny. Remember, you need to do a video about Big Boss, man. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. If Rikishi had his way, Jey Uso would have been a belt corrector run bigger than Kenny's. Yes, not one mention of Big Jim, though. So my claim was accurate. And that's the thing about it, bro. I feel like as a wrestler, Rikishi should understand there's a hierarchy. And when he's talking about, like, booking, it's like, bro, Jimmy Uso made Gunther tap out. Crazy. Legitimately crazy. Hold on. I had to see something quick. Which video was it? Nah, I don't got it here. Nah, he has to be reasonable. I don't know why he isn't. Cena had a 10-minute reign. Bro, Randy Orton's first title run was less than a month. Rikishi booking WWE was so funny. Bro, he'd show up himself. By the way, there's a video I've been making. I'm almost done with it. I was talking about production, right? And I showed Rikishi in, and I'm like, bro, this guy has a good theme song. No, he has like a distinctive entrance song. And I actually think like a lot of the characters back then, pre-2018, had good theme songs. You know? Like a lot of the wrestlers had good theme songs. He's an example of that, like this song. Even if you don't like as distinctive. This sounds like him, kind of. I'm a Batman. Get the Batman. Bad blocks. See, they got distinctive songs. Was Rikishi even good? Bro, they always had to stop and start his gimmicks until he got the whole Rikishi thing. I know Rikishi was popping off seeing Gunther tap out to that whack ass sleeper. Yeah, I wish we got to see a live reaction of him. Like, I know for a fact he would have been like, my son, my son. And Jimmy's like, well, what about me, father? It's like, oh, yeah, you're doing good as well. Short answer, no. Long answer, no, but longer. Yeah. Sounds like Ja Rule. Rikishi used to make a difference. Fatu, Marky D just made a video about his run. It was actually different. Yeah, make a difference. We used to wear that colored jacket. If Rikishi booked WWE, then Jay would be the Samoan Cena. So would be the #1 heel in the company. And Jimmy would still be a gator. Your time will come, son. He'll say it like that. Your time will come. Don't worry. When he does win the world title, Solo, not even Solo, Jacob will cash it on him. And then he'd be like, well, father, why'd you book me like that? Roman is the top guy. Jacob as well. You have to know your place. What about Jay? Don't talk about your brother like that. Jimmy would get sent to AAA. Probably, bro. It's funny. You know, like, you see families, you know, they got their favorites, but it's so blatant. I don't know if this is a jobless observation, but it's blatant who he likes more. Jimmy would become El Grande Samoa. That's all we need. Another El Grande and another Samoan storyline. It's the last thing we need. Hell. Love Island. Love Island's on. Now I think Uso #4 cash. Oh yeah, bro. I see a lot of people, and this is making me laugh. People are like, if WWE really wants to make a difference, they have Jacob win and Zilla Fatu help him. Zilla Fatu, bro. Look what they're focused on. Like, listen. If Zilla Fatu's time is gonna come, it's gonna come. I don't think it's necessarily now. People try to act like he's like some sort of huge difference maker. It's like, bro, he's just another Samoan. He's Umaga's son, that's it. Like, bro, some people are actually convinced Zilla Fatu should be a huge star right now in 2026. It's crazy. Like, I've seen some of Zilla Fatu's vlogs and stuff, you know, he's decent. But he should develop. He needs to develop. And plus, does he have that level of commitment that the other wrestlers do? We don't know. Because he's always like, well, they should call me. It's like, bro, your time's not here. Your time's not now. Simple as that. Zilla Fatu, bro. They just want bloodline drama. I don't think the crowd would know who the hell Zilla Fatu is. Funny enough, I think some of them would. For good old feuds you oddly remember. Chuck Palumbo and Jamie Noble. Kid Cash and the Mexicools. Kid Cash, like, he had something against the Mexicools, bro. He used to drop him with this freaking brainbuster like crazy. Remember when Hobbs pulled up to the Saudi Rumble and got barely a reaction because nobody knew him? The thing is, like, the Saudi wrestling fans are actually knowledgeable. He just didn't sound like that. Like, I see a lot of the Saudi wrestling fans, Batum Zilla Fatu or something. Like, they be talking in Arabic, right? They got, like, the traditional Arabic accent. They actually know about wrestling. بنحط Shawn Michaels في نمرة واحد. Something like that, they say. I put Shawn Michaels at number 1. Zilla just debuted 2 years ago. At the act like he's the second coming of The Rock. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. He has to develop, and it's like, when you gonna debut me? When you gonna debut? It's like, bro, you gotta develop, number 1. Roman is not losing that title until SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year, probably. Just might go on break again. It's what we do. Bloodline things. Hashtag. And he disappears. We actually seeing anything in Hobbs, actually? He's trying to get this, like, quote over or something. He's decent. It's just, like, only time will tell. I can't really tell you right now, because things could change on a whim. Like, WWE is dry right now, but if you tell me in 6 months that Sami Zayn's the world champion, I would actually believe you. As a heel, of course. I don't think he's going to do it as a face. I'm a bad man. I like the dude, but right now, it looks weird. We'll see. Maybe he gets to turn face. We're half a second away from a WP Saudi impression. But I can't talk like them. Listen. My dialect is different from them. I can understand a lot of what they say, but I can't get it right. Hold on, let me see. بحب الجي أوسو وبدي نروح ل WWE بس نفرج في Rikishi وسولو سكوا. See, I can't get it. It's close, but I told you guys basically I like Jey Uso. I want to go to a WWE event and watch Solo Sikoa. See? But we'll see about Hobbs. You know, only time will tell. I can't. Maybe until he turns heel. I think that's what he needs at the moment. Like, they're doing this inspirational story, but I can't tell. He has some good performances, but that's not enough in the WWE. You missed the part where they asked for Yokozuna in the year of 2018. Hold on. This is what they say. بحب يوكوزونا بدي يوكوزونا يروح لكراون جول event. I love Yokozuna and I want him to go to the Crown Jewel event. Like I said, anyways, who cares about that? Like I said, with Zilla Fatu, he's got to wait for it. And with Powerhouse Hobbs, I think the heel turn will be the proper opening. Because they've been teasing it recently, but we'll see, you know. We'll see. It's very risky to go to the WWE now. You know, like, if you ask a couple of wrestlers in the AEW locker room, they probably wouldn't go. I actually think for a fact that they wouldn't go at the moment because it's risky. You see a lot of releases and stuff like that. Like, who's actually safe in the WWE that's not a main eventer? Braun Breaker, JC Jane, Blake Monroe, like these new people that just showed up recently. Like Fatal Attraction are very safe right now, right? Bro, wasn't that Jasmine Nix? She was supposed to be with them, but then she quit because, like, there was a lot of expenses. Very unlucky. At least Hobbs didn't burn a bridge on his way out of AEW. Of course, the thing is, listen, the roster on AEW is stacked. So obviously, if you look at it from his position, it's understandable he would take a chance. It's like, oh, maybe now I could get a push in the WWE. I think maybe Ethan Page. Ethan Page is doing decently as well. Penta's doing very good now with the IC title. It's very hard, though. You know, like, you give a couple of wrestlers in AEW the opportunity, I'm sure some of them would be like, I'm not jumping. It's risky. Like Hobbs himself, he was in a very good position in AEW. He just decided to leave now. I think they could see a lot in Ethan. I think he reminds them of The Miz. That's why. He's like one of those guys that's ride or die type. I think that's what it is. Oh my god. I remember wanting a Hobbs push in AEW. Hobbs felt way bigger in AEW than he does now. Yes, of course. Agreed. But it's weird how time flies, because you guys remember in the past, it was Jade Cargill, Will Hobbs. You guys remember before he was Powerhouse Hobbs, they were pushing him? Then the Team Taz stuff. Stuff's weird, bro. Now what about Ricky? I don't actually see that much in him. Yeah, right now he's not doing well. In 2023, though, he was doing good. 23, he was with Punk and Danielson. Nowadays, it's hard to get moved by him. It's like he's just around. Ricky Saints. Realize we all call him Hobbs better than Keith. See? The reason why that name's better, bro. Powerhouse Hobbs. That sounds like an 80s wrestler. But I do wonder who's gonna be the next departee from AEW to go to WWE. We'll see how. I do wonder who it's gonna be, because right now it's a fascinating time. It's like it's a huge risk to jump ship, but who's it gonna be? Like, I do wonder. Who knows? It might end up being Sammy Guevara who'll go to NXT or some silly stuff like that. Like, I can imagine Sammy Guevara in NXT. That's coming from a guy who had a failed heel run when he was doing it for The Rock. Yes. Oh, you guys remember when Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints beat Obafemi? No one remembers. He beat him and they don't even mention it. You know why they don't mention it? They know it's a mistake. You should have been Javon, bro. Right now, I feel like everyone is locked in, yes. That interview, though. Maybe someone from the women's division. Possibly. The biggest weakness that the AEW has, I'm starting to sound like Bret Hart, the women's division. The women's division is never fulfilled to its full potential. And on top of that, it's like, when you look at the women's division, would you want to take your chances in AEW or the WWE? Because, like, for the men's side, it's very hard to get over. The women's side, there's more of an opening, and on top of that, you are probably going to be way more famous. Britt, maybe. They'll probably bring her in, but I'm not moved by her, to be honest. We'll see. It's just like one man's trash is another man's treasure. You guys know that. I could see Anna Jay joining WWE. I think she extended recently. I'm pretty sure that's why she's on TV more often. Her and Ty. Yeah. From men's division, I got no clue. It's very hard to say. That's crazy. I was just about to say Sammy Guevara. The reason why I say Sammy Guevara is because I always see him on Twitter. He's like wanting more opportunities. And on top of that, it sounds like a change of scenery type thing. I was thinking that maybe Knight would jump eventually, but they see something in him rightfully so, yes. There's a lot of injuries in the AEW's women's roster, yes. Who else was I gonna say? I was gonna say somebody. You know who I want to see? I'm gonna tell you guys this from the opposite side. You know who I want to see in AEW? This might be a hot take. I want to see Drew McIntyre. I know Drew McIntyre's a bit old now. He's a bit destroyed, but I'd rather see him in AEW than WWE. Drew Galloway. I feel like he'd kill it there, bro. There's always someone jumping ship. Then there's other people who probably never leave, like The Miz would never want to go to AEW. Jon Moxley probably won't go back to WWE. Tony Storm probably wouldn't go back. Then there's those people that aren't going to move anywhere. All right. Unbeaten winner of the Champions League. We'll see. Awesome. Is Drew a lifer at this point? Probably. Drew Galloway versus Ospreay's money. Did they face off like in 2016? Because like the other day, I watched the AJ Styles and Will Ospreay match. Ospreay was super jumpy, but it made for a good story. They did face off. See? WCPW. Bro, what culture was on it back then, bro? They were on it. Like, what culture pro wrestling? Whew. I mean, guys, guaranteed TV time at this point. He is. It's just like a change of scenery. Him. Sheamus is a bit old, but, I think he could be like a character. William Regal's son, probably. I don't know. I don't think it would go, though. Apparently WWE want FTR back, which is a 0% chance. Bro, they just nuked the tag team division. If the Revival want to come back, that would mean they would have to risk their contracts and safety in AEW. And number two, they would have to deal with a depleted tag team division. Who are they gonna face? Damian Priest and R-Truth? I think Dragunov is probably a good choice for AEW. He is. Gargano is a decent one. Let me just put it this way. Anyone you see in the WWE who brings off a PWG, ROH vibe, they belong in AEW. Simple as that. Yeah, like Dragunov, Gunther would belong, or Walter as I would call him. He would belong in AEW for sure. Like, bro, do you know how much they'd be glazing him? Finn Balor, Prince Devitt. He has, bro, I think like Finn Balor, if he was to move there and like work, there's no doubt in my mind that he would, become a world champion there. Just on the basis of his history with the Elite. Anyone that has good in-ring but little charisma, pretty much. Kinda. He has history with Omega. He has history with the Bullet Club, because you know he's a founder. Although Dragunov has something there, it just comes down to presentation. Maybe. Very hard, bro. Like this industry, it's super tough. Look at Andrade. He finally has something decent. You know, he takes a picture with the woman. You know, pulls down his pants. It all sounds weird, but that's exactly what he does. Stuff like that. Bro, I'm reading here, Katy Perry needs a BBL. Like, bro, what the fuck's wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you, bro? Katy Perry needs a BBL. Like, this is what you're doing, bro? Bro, I go on Twitter. This is one of the first things I see. Fried. Before we end the stream, let's yap quickly. You know, let's before we end the stream, let's talk about some stuff quick. LA Knight and AEW be cool to work with MJF. LA Knight, I feel like, is more of a TNA guy, which is ironic because he was already there. NWA, of course. That's why we need a number 3 in the industry. If we get a number 3 here, we'd be cooking. The problem is, who's gonna invest millions of dollars into a number 3 promotion? No one. Like, can we get Mark Cuban in here to invest, bro? We need a billionaire, another billionaire who's passionate about wrestling, to jump in and be like, I want to be another promotion here. That'll be interesting. TNA ain't that thing. You know, people are like, oh, TNA's this. Like, bro, TNA's doing nothing. TNA is just WWE's cuck, and they're not going to do anything beyond that. You know? Number 3 is TNA, and that's the sad part. Bruh, we need something else. Call it All-American Wrestling or something. Alright, that sounds like AEW a bit. American Elite Wrestling. No, we need something, bro. We really do, because there's a lot of talent that's underutilized in both promotions. It's as simple as that. Can you make a video about WWE 2002, 2007, specifically all the steroid monsters and drug abuse? Crazy, it was the Wild West back then. Good idea. I should do that. Number 3 is NWA. But things are different. Like 10 years ago, you guys remember the indie scene, bro? ROH, PWG, Progress, all these promotions, the UK ones. Is NWA actually beating TNA in the ratings, bro? I just see people glaze TNA for stuff. It's like, bro, come on. Sit down. I feel like they do that in spite of All Elite Wrestling. Like, you could have your opinion, but sometimes I don't think certain people's opinions is genuine. You know what I mean? I think people grift. World Cup. Does anybody even watch AEW anymore? I don't know. Like, genuinely heard nothing about it post Tyrus/EC3. Wrestling Premier Federation. Bruh. If I had Aiden Ross money, you know how he does the brand risk stuff? I would do some pop-up wrestling stuff every couple of months. Something like Bloodsport, but in a different way. You're like, why? Well, if you have all that money, which God forbid I do, nor am I seeking it because life would be very boring, I'd do something like that. You know, I'd book all the top talent I could. NWA 275,000, TNA 200. Does NWA actually have that much in the ratings, bro? No way. I don't hear a single thing about that promotion. They can't have that much. What the hell? This is true. NWA has... This is hilarious, bro. NWA has that much. I'm actually reading it here. It's true. Yeah, TNA sucks. I love your video. Seeing on live, I can't figure out if you're 15 or 35. In what way 15 or 35? Alright, I need to hear the 35 part. I'm in between them, by the way. We're 24. We're about to turn 25. Peak New Japan Pro Wrestling was a fun time. NWA Trust. That's it. We're back on the train. Favorite heel championship reign. Let me think. JBL's in 04, but not specifically for the matches, but for the stories that were told. You know, he's trying to escape. But like I was saying, if I had all that money, I wouldn't do no brand risk stuff and bring Ray J to freaking suffer a seizure. Yeah, I saw that. I would do a pro wrestling pop-up. You know, like Penguins or Moist Critical. Why? Well, you know, just to do it. I wouldn't even necessarily make it a promotion. It's just like something like every once in a while. Like What Culture Pro Wrestling. I wouldn't even care about booking. I'd be having great matches there. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. This and that. All that. You know? Tyrus Drew for NWA more than TNA. Oh my god, that sounds dastardly. Legitimately, bro, you know what made me laugh about them? When he won the title, they made him champion because of the Fox News partnership. Like, he's on Fox News. I don't know what he's talking about. Who cares? He's on there holding the belt as if it's something important. They're like, oh, this is gonna get eyes on the product. It's like, bro, no one's watching NWA. Especially because of Tyrus, bro. Sit down. NWA is like Facebook Live wrestling. I don't know why. It brings that kind of vibe. But it's hilarious that they're beating TNA. It really is. But yes, before we end the stream, feel free to ask or yap about whatever you want before we end it. My video is uploaded. I'm going to upload it officially in an hour. It's a long one. Just want to say that. And I will probably be uploading tomorrow as well. I got another video to drop. The video is done, the other one. Just want to say that right now. You do retro watch-alongs. The problem with watch-alongs, it's very hard because, like, I gotta stay still. Stuff like that. I don't know, we'll see. If my promotion had Tyrus to the face of it, I might just have to sell to TK or something, bro. At that point, I might burn the company altogether. Tyrus. Last thing we need is Tyrus, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. I legitimately don't. I also don't have 2K26 to play on the stream. Just want to say that because space ain't easy to come by on the PlayStation. It's like, who gives a damn? Any plans of looking at some more recent title reigns? Yes, I do. There is some. Let me think for a moment. I want to do Asuka's undefeated streak. I want to do Gunther, his rise in general. You know, from Germany, WXW. Stuff like that. I would love to see you look at an AEW World Title reign, honestly. One I did consider was Jon Moxley's first. Just want to mention that. I was reading up about it a couple of days ago. Like, reading up on some of the matches. And it might be a decent idea, you know? I did a Jericho one. We could do Mox next. I do want to do Belt Collector Omega, but I think that's a bit hard at the moment, you know? It's a bit complex. But it could be possible, you know? We'll see. Only time will tell. There's a lot of video ideas. It's just about like which one I want to do at the moment. Like, one of the videos I want to do is wrestling's worst TV shows, TV episodes. The Death Rider one, no, the first one. I want to do wrestling's worst episodes. I think I wrote the list down. Let me see if I did. I did write the list down. One of them is the Nitro March 8th, 1999 episode. Raw July 20th, 2009. Raw April 12th, 2021. Yeah, there's a lot of bad Raw episodes in here. I'm about to add a TNA one. Just want to mention that. But yeah, feel free to mention anything before we end the stream. We've officially gone to 3 hours. Shout out to you guys. Feel free. We'll be waiting before we end the stream and close it. Fabian Eichner, welcome back. Welcome back, Agent 47. Worst episodes is a great idea. Please tell me you got post WrestleMania 40 Raw after WrestleMania. I got post WrestleMania 39. We'll see. That list might change, but it's a complex list full of some random episodes of Raw. Someone's gonna be like, well, the Ruthless Aggression era was better. I'm like, bro, get out of here. I know it is, but not for that episode. Like, we got SmackDown November 2. We got SmackDown December 3rd, 2021. Well, that's even worse. That one is worse. Remember the Raw to WrestleMania 39? You like the Darby run? Yeah, that was a quick one. One thing I did think about, and this would benefit a lot the channel. Any title reign that ends, we just make a video on it. I am thinking about that, and I might actually implement that to like give it a proper assessment of a title reign with my style of content, of course. We'll see. But like I do enjoy making these videos and talking about the matches. I really do enjoy talking about matches, but when you talk about matches, people don't really care a lot. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Darby Allin won the world title before Sami Zayn is crazy. Not a lot. I remember them advertising it like Brock was actually going to do a tag team match on Raw. Yeah. The episode sucked, bro. Oh my god. A-Town down, screaming out loud. We'll see. So is it going to be a Game 7? I think it is. Yes, it's a Game 7. It's official. Spurs have led 72-64 with 7:59 in the third quarter. Yeah, they mocked them. Brutal, as they say. Brutal. Like I said, I will be back today with a video. Seth Rollins. Very important to make that video. It took me a while, but I finished it. Other than that, and if you're like, why are you low energy now? Well, I've been streaming for a while. You know, it's very unfortunate, but I am pretty low energy right now. What was I going to say? I keep on forgetting. I also want to add that I'm obviously going to do Clash in Italy. I'm going to try to get it the same day. If I don't, well, I can't upload it. And other than that, I do want to go on some like crack binge of uploads to say. You know, just want to mention that right now. I want to do a crack binge of uploads where I'm just like, work. So I am interested in implementing a lot of videos. Just want to say that right now. Darby has a good wrestling career, you say, so far. Yeah, he's actually achieved a lot. I know this topic is overdone, but can you do a video about the Shockmaster and the whole botch debut and stuff? Sid's over the top heavy acting after its debut, trying to say the skit is priceless. We could do that in the Wrestling's Worst debuts, perhaps. I do have some interest in doing like early 90s WCW, but my viewers don't really enjoy it, you know? And YouTube doesn't really benefit the algorithm where it's like, if these people don't like it, we'll give it to these other people. They don't do that. So sometimes that's why you see a Jeff Hardy or John Cena video, because that's what the algorithm wants. Go live tomorrow. That would mean I have to watch SmackDown. We're not doing that. We're not. But yeah, I got another video coming up other than the Seth Rollins one before Clash in Italy. Yeah. Just look forward to the next couple of days. Just want to say that right now. Look forward to it if you watch the videos, which obviously you do if you're in the stream. On that, just want to say that we are looking forward to the next month. Crackhead energy, you know, that's the goal. If I could work like a crackhead again on a plenty of uploads, I'm sure you guys will enjoy them. Say that. All right, I hope you guys enjoy the stream.